I, the Silver Superman, am promoted to omniscience and omnipotence. Chapter 101. Yi Rishan and Deadpool finished drinking and threw away the bottle. Using the Space Gem ability, linking the Dormammu Dark Dimension, Yi Rishan stepped out in one step. 1,000 doppelgangers followed, Deadpool, Hulk, followed closely. As everyone knows, his series of actions have already disturbed countless existences in this universe. Who is it, actually killed most of the territory of Hell? I don't know, that person is very strong, his breath is blocked by some unknown existence in the underworld, we can't explore one or two. Who is it? After countless epochs of silence, finally someone wants to start a dispute to bring fresh air to this universe that has been quiet for hundreds of millions of years. Bring fresh air. Are you sure it wasn't a natural or man-made disaster? How many people have to die here? Dead man. Is it bad, or are you afraid of death? We have been stuck at this level of strength for more than 1 billion years, unable to break through. We belong to the universe, devouring our compatriots, hunting and capturing endless power, can no longer add further. There is no variable of killing and breaking the rules. How do we embark on a new journey? That's right. I hope that person doesn't do anything to me. I'm good to fish in troubled waters in this prosperous war. Get a piece of the pie, haha. Many existences in the universe are talking about it, including the snake god Seth, the god of black magic, Sissos, Gaia, the mother of the earth, the god of white magic, Emperor Vishen, and many other characters. Dark Dimension. Dormammu was originally a wizard on Earth, accidentally discovered the dark space and entered here. In order to become the master of the dark space, Dormammu gave up his original physical body and obtained an incomparably powerful dark power. And his physical body was also replaced by a terrible magical flame, and then began to conquer other dimensions, becoming the Dark Overlord on the side of the universe, and became the #1 mortal enemy of Doctor Strange. As a dark dimension, the absolute ruler Dormammu has unparalleled super magical ability. Can obtain pure and unlimited mysterious energy through the dark dimension, and can convert energy into invisibility, arbitrarily change its size and shape, control elements, telepathy, dimensional teleportation, resurrection of the dead, immortality, distortion of reality, destruction of galaxies, cross-dimensional teleportation, creation of different dimensional dimensions, manipulation of space-time axis, domination of the multiverse and other superpowers. Yi Rishan and Deadpool, Hulk, 1,000 doppelgangers just stepped in, and Dormammu found out. Here is the dark dimension of the sky is a colorful black world, full of colorful and mixed with dark elements of the color world. Yi Rishan's group stood on the deremnants of the abandoned planet at their feet, which was a Death Star. Who is it that dares to break into my domain? In the void, Dormammu's voice suddenly sounded. It was a vertical striped human face like a tree face, very terrifying and strange. His voice was filled with great anger and anger. Yi Rishan looked at the huge strange face above, and said calmly. I'm here to kill you, Dormammu, are you ready? Haha, what a joke, Yi doesn't dare to tell me like this, you are something, and you dare to say wild words. Yes, if she can't kill Gui, others can kill you, right? Well, so to speak, Atrium Ant, what are you trying to say? You don't think you're the one, someone else, right? Very well, since you admit that, others, can kill you, it means that you are willing to accept reality and recognize your status. You can tolerate and indulge the appearance of another, who killed you, so why can't this person be me? Dormammu was shocked. I almost missed this tongue twister, but he understood that he could tolerate the appearance of another person who could kill himself, so why couldn't it be this person in front of him? It makes sense, I was speechless. Dormammu couldn't accept it, and pouted. Reptile, it's good, you managed to get my attention. If you want to kill me, do you have that skill? Yi Rishan said calmly. Yes, let's fight and know things, Midgardians, I admire your courage, and after the fight I spare your life, enslave your will, and become my slave, are you acceptable? Yi Rishan did not speak again. As soon as the heat line of sight shoots out, hundreds of thousands of degrees Celsius are enough to incinerate all known substances on the earth, and it is not a problem to melt diamonds. Dormammu cast dimensional magic, forming a vortex in the starry sky, sucking Yi Rishan's hot vision into it without setting off the slightest splash. Dormammu said disdainfully. Humble ant, are you capable of this? What a big deal. Yi Rishan frowned lightly, took out the god fire that the spirit of vengeance restarted. This fire not only has physical injuries but also magic injuries, essentially derived from hellfire, naturally has the blessing of dark magic, and carries God's cause and effect. Yi Rishan threw out the fire of God and burned, and the dimensional black magic vortex of Dormammu was burned little by little, and the black magic particles kept beating and dodging, as if they had encountered natural enemies, and the turtle retreated until it disappeared. No matter how Dormammu delivered, increasing the output of black magic energy would not help, and he was very stunned. You, what kind of flame are you? Why does it give me a sense of oppressive power? Yi Rishan chuckled. Hellfire, don't you know? No, it's impossible, hellfire can't hurt me in the slightest. I am the supreme lord of the dark dimension, immortal, eternal. Hellfire can help me. Besides, you, a barbaric and backward ant-atrium person, will never have hellfire. Fool things, dare to lie to me. Listening to Dormammu's left and one ant on the right of fooled, Yi Rishan's face turned fierce. Hee hee, despicable and shameless Dormammu, open your stupid and lowly ears and listen. I am the fire of God, specifically to deal with a disgusting brain-dead god like you beast with a cerebral thrombosis for 10,000 years. Now come and kneel at my feet, give me 10,000 heads, I won't hit you so hard in a while. You lowly, shameless, obscene, and extremely stupid thing must cherish this hard-won opportunity. Quote. Dormammu is numb, don't I just scold you twice? Is this mortal so capable of mouth cannoning? What if I can't scold him? Abominable. Go and die. After speaking, Dormammu summoned a large number of huge planets blessed by black magic, and countless natural meteorites smashed towards Yi Rishan. Seeing this, Yi Rishan adjusted his posture, swung his fist, and the fire of God was attached to his fist, and he threw a punch. Bang! One punch hit this large area of the planet, breaking 10,000 laws with one force, and exploding multiple stars with one punch. Punch after punch was violently blasted out, and the meteorite could not withstand the boom of this furious force. Exclamation mark. Boom. Countless planetary meteorites were shattered by Yi Rishan, the remains of remnants of star stones floated in the universe, and the powerful shock wave was smoothed by the rules in the dark dimension. Dormammu couldn't believe it. How can you have so much power? It's not scientific. Yi is not as powerful as you. How could you be the one who is better than her? You can tolerate the appearance of another powerful person, and indulge the appearance of another person who can kill you, and you are still willing to say that Furuchi is not as strong as me, so why can't this person be me? Ah things, you can't beat and beat, you can't scold and scold, lowly humans. Quote. Dormammu was stimulated by Yi Rishan's words. Wanama, what he said is so reasonable, can you not talk so reasonably, such a profound truth, I don't understand ah. Dormammu roared extremely angrily, manipulating the elements, controlling the psychic ability to attack Yi Rishan. Yi Rishan dodged one by one, and the psychic ability was even more immune. Yi Rishan flew up to fight him, and Dormammu was not far behind and stepped forward to fight. The fluctuations caused by the confrontation between the two destroyed countless planetary wrecks in the dimension. Countless meteorites and void turbulence were blasted and crushed into slag. The ferocious and mighty turmoil shook the entire dark dimension, and huge fluctuations spread out, even many outside the dimension were perceived. Who is it? This is who is at war with Dormammu, and the fluctuations caused by the two of them, I have spilled over into Asgard. Quote. Dormammu. Is that you, my dear friend Yi Rishan? You have come to kill Dormammu. Well, as long as you can kill him, I will give you the time gem. Good. What a powerful force. When did this power appear in the 9 realms? Who is it? This world is becoming more and more dangerous. The future timeline, Yan has me in other places to exist. It's not good. The changes caused by their war have shaken the enchantment of this universe, tearing the framework of the entire universe. The universe is about to collapse. Quickly, is there anyone? Hurry up and repair it. When this person finished speaking, 4 abstract conceptualized gods in a sphere appeared in the center of the universe in the next second, and together they worked to repair the broken cosmic order, structure and framework, saving the universe that was about to collapse and destroy, and the cosmic framework was repaired and supported little by little in their hands. Among the 9 realms, countless ancient beings were talking one after another, and they were all affected by the fight between Dormammu and Yi Rishan in their own country, and a monstrous weather field caused a sensation in the entire Nine Realms. Everyone was shocked. Odin, the lord of the Nine Realms of the Western God King, Gu. Greek Olympian Zeus, god of war Ares, Eastern Jade Emperor, Antarctic Immortal, Zhurong, Queen Mother of the West, Sun Wukong, Hindu god Shiva, Brahma, Heavenly Emperor and others. The universe, which has been calm for thousands of years, is finally about to set off dark turmoil again and trigger a war of gods in this era. The scene of the desperate fight of the universe celestial god group 1,000 years ago is still vividly remembered, as if yesterday, like a dream. Dark Dimension. Dormammu's territory. Yi Rishan was knocked thousands of miles away by Dormammu's huge black magic. Yi Rishan was very distressed, and the black magic of this dog thing suppressed himself too much. Dormammu looked at Yi Rishan being bombarded, and said with disdain, "What kind of person should I be? It turns out to be a big talking ant. There is no need for that terrifying flame. Dare to fight with me close to hard black magic. Your body is very special, dazzling vitality, powerful defensive body. It seems to be absorbing the magic in my dark dimension. The reptile in the atrium, what is your origin? Throughout the entire parallel universe, I have never met such a special earthling as you." Yi Rishan stopped flying upside down. His mind once felt weak. Only those who have been superhuman can understand how much damage and sensitivity that magic injury has to Superman. This is much stronger than Mephisto's hell magic, and Dormammu's black magic is no less than the magic wound of the Ancient One, inherited from Sissos, one of the four gods of antiquity. This is an extremely powerful and ancient god in Marvel Comics. The source of black magic used by everyone comes from this god of black magic, Sissos. Yi Rishan put on a levitation cloak and added demon resistance, sacrificed the magic injury learned by Karma Taj to add demon resistance again. His body was crazy to heal himself, and he sacrificed the sword of Superman to fight Dormammu fiercely, buying time for himself. The cells of the whole body were madly absorbing space power, and the massive black magic energy like an ocean was sucked up, and the ability to destroy the sun was launched. Black magic no longer harms itself and creates resistance. The self-healing cells are running wildly, constantly speeding up metabolism, and the magic resistance is almost among the flat physical resistance. Dormammu was annoyed. "Cunning human, you can't come up to fight me, send a sword to plan with me." Quote. Dormammu and the superhuman sword are inseparable, making him extremely difficult. This sword is forged from unknown materials. Not only extremely hard, the blade sent out can also hurt him, making him feel that it is still simple to abuse Yi Rishan. Thinking of this, suddenly repelling the superhuman sword, taking the opportunity to hit Yi Rishan with a powerful black magic. Yi Rishan watched the black magic hit him. The ability to destroy the day was launched, and the ability to restrain black magic evolved to counteract white magic. At the same time, Yi Rishan felt that his bottleneck period had arrived, and he immediately advanced to the multiverse level. Dormammu, this dog thing, planetary cosmic level. How to say that he is also a mage? Karma Taj inheritance is not weak. That is the source of the trinity of Veshandi, the god of white magic Oshutu and Oshit. Yi Rishan immediately sacrificed white magic and rushed to fight with it, and the powerful white magic and the superhuman sword after enchantment, defeated Dormammu. Dormammu looked hideous. "No. How do you perform white magic? Are you a disciple of those old guys of Emperor Wisshan? Dead." Dormammu was furious, and sacrificed his strongest move, manipulating time and space backwards, trying to kill Yi Rishan in the past. Yi Rishan felt that time was being reversed, and his body quickly regressed. The ability to destroy the day in the body is activated, and antibodies are soon produced, and time cannot erode him in the slightest, and evolved to counter the ability to restrain time regression, ignoring the grandmother's paradox of causality. Yi Rishan was ecstatic. This dog thing Dormammu will really fight for his own welfare. He is a traverser, whereas the multiverse isotope. At most, it has just traveled through the timeline of Marvel East. Now evolved to ignore the grandmother's paradox of causality. No matter who wants to kill Yi Rishan from the past, he will encounter the most powerful ontology Yi Rishan's strength. Even if he kills his past timeline by crossing the timeline, he will not be able to cause harm to the future ontology. In the comics, Silver Superman returns to the past and kills his old mother, returning to the future still safe and sound. Dare to ask who else can do it. Does the Flash work? Is Dr. Manhattan okay? Suddenly thought of the Sand Superman version. In the comic book of the rumor that Superman eats kryptonite, kryptonite is the Achilles heel of the main universe Superman. He did not overcome this weakness. A picture of Superman eating kryptonite circulating on the internet is from the Legend of Sand Superman, but it is not kryptonite but ordinary iron. The Legend of Superman is a storyline serialized in Superman that begins with an experiment by scientists on Earth to convert kryptonite into ordinary iron. The experiment exploded. Superman desperately blocked the exploding equipment with a metal cover, minimizing the power of the explosion. But Superman was also blown up, fell into the desert near the laboratory. Superman got up, found that the experiment was successful. Kryptonite really turned into iron. After the scene, there was a scene of Superman eating kryptonite. This is not kryptonite, but ordinary iron. No one found that after everyone left, Superman stood up a Sand Superman in the traces pressed out of the desert. Sand Superman is a spiritual energy from the quark dimension that gathers the sand and Superman's energy on Earth. Superman also hopes to become a Superman in this world and act chivalrously. However, Sand Superman is made up of alternating charged atoms, and his contact with Superman can cause devastating explosions. So Sand Superman left Earth 1 and returned to his quark dimension, and just like that, he took away 1/3 of Superman's strength and abilities, including brain power. After the Legend of Sand Superman event, all aspects of Superman's abilities dropped to 2/3 of the original. So in a certain year of the comic, Best Partner, when Dr. Fate asked Superman to help him move the Earth's continental plates, Superman would complain that he used to fiddle with planets with one hand, but now he can't manipulate a small continent. Yi Rishin sank his heart. This is the setting of Silver Superman in the Silver Age, not idealistic Silver Superman. Kryptonite can't be eaten. In other words, that thing doesn't taste delicious. What is delicious about a stone? He is idealistic Silver Superman. Idealistic White Superman is not afraid of kryptonite. It seems that there is no such comic plot. Idealism is used to repair the plot patch. Even so, it is up to himself to break. The ancient first Doomsday seems to have the setting of immunity to kryptonite. How can the weak chicken Doomsday that Zod was transformed by Lex Luthor be compared to the ancient Doomsday on ancient kryptonite? What is on his body is the ancient version of Doom. He is already invincible. Marvel does not have kryptonite. When the time comes, go to DC to see it. The top priority: first add the magic resistance under the thick blood bar to the flat steel body. Red Sun will dodge in advance when the time comes. As for kryptonite, let Deadpool destroy it. Take Deadpool to DC to do things. You have to work harder. Marvel should be over. Yi Rishin narrowed his eyes and calculated frantically. Look at Dormammu. Dormammu's huge face showed a look of fear. How can you be okay? How can you resist the invasion of time? Do you have a time gem? Yi Rishin calmly shook his head. I didn't, but you're going to die. After that, Yi Rishin rushed up to fight with Dormammu again. Dormammu panicked, incredulous, and cursed. Why are you so weird? Good End has advanced to the multiverse level. Isn't strength inherently fixed? How can it grow up the day after tomorrow? What secrets do you have? Quote. Dormammu was defeated step by step. The dark magic and wreckage planets in the dimension gradually decreased. The dark space disappeared little by little, and every time he was injured, he would absorb a large area of magic and space in the dark dimension to make up for his injuries. Seeing this, Yi Rishin remembered Dormammu's dependent body. The reason why Dormammu does not die is because of the blessing of the dark dimension. Just like Hela, the goddess of death in Asgard, if Asgard is not destroyed, they will not die or die, and the land under their feet can even increase their combat power. Thinking of this, Yi Rishin frantically shot at the dark dimensional void, sending 1,000 doppelgangers to fight, ferociously destroying the dark dimension, and brutally and violently bombarding through the endless dimensional space. Seeing this, Dormammu was terrified, and couldn't help but secretly said, "Why do you always show so many surprises and uniqueness? Do human beings really have such great potential? I actually discovered my secret again. No, I have to stop him." Quote. Boom. Dormammu was seriously injured by Yi Rishin's superhuman sword. Looking at the dark dimension that was like an endless abyss, Yi Rishin charged a powerful blow and angrily punched at the dark dimension. Exclamation mark. The dark dimension shattered like a mirror in the entire instant, and another vast cosmic starry sky outside the dimension was revealed. Countless dimensions in darkness are rapidly fading. Dormammu was furious, and roared. No! You fool thing, my dimension. My immortal body, my strength, are gone. Yi Rishan looked at the huge face still shouting, immediately jumped up in the air, picked up the superhuman sword, passed through the face with a sword, landed firmly on the ground, turned his back and held the sword in his right hand, and Dormammu instantly exploded. The dark dimension disappears, Dormammu, die. Yi Rishan and Deadpool, Hulk, 1,000 doppelgangers appear on a small meteorite in the cosmic starry sky. Yi Rishan was about to take back the doppelganger, but suddenly thought of something, so he cancelled this idea. The Karma Taj Sanctuary, which sensed the Earth, opened the tunnel with space gems, and the group walked in. Earth, in a quiet room of Karma Taj. Ji Yi opened his eyes. Strange is learning magic. A spatial tunnel appeared. Yi Rishan stepped out in one step. The doppelganger followed closely behind. Deadpool, Hulk came out one by one, and the crack narrowed. Seeing that outsiders broke in, Strange was about to strike, but was stopped by Ji Yi in time, which saved him from injury. Ji Yi didn't think that Strange could beat Yi Rishan. She had already felt that Dormammu was dead, and even a large number of demons in Hell had died, and now Hell was an unprecedented emptiness and weakness, and the forces inside were almost liquidated by Yi Rishan. Yi Rishan accomplished the most unlikely thing in the 9 realms. The weak earthlings in people's eyes were actually slaughtering demons. That planet in the center of the world tree. The middle position was extremely important and eye-catching. Someone could do such an outrageous thing, it was really unbelievable. Yi Rishan didn't look at the others, and said to 1,000 doppelgangers, "You 900, divided 300 to go to India to destroy Shiva, Brahma, the inheritance. Forces of the heavenly emperor, leaving only ordinary people, and then divided 300 doppelgangers to the east to destroy the Jade Emperor, the Queen Mother of the West, Zhurong, Sun Wukong, Nezha, Antarctic Immortals, and many other immortal Tao forces, leaving only ordinary people, and the last 300 doppelgangers. Went to destroy Zeus, the god of war Ares and the Eternals of Olympia, leaving only ordinary people, do you understand? Ideographic period." Yi Rishan said so much in one breath, and took the last 100 doppelgangers back into his body. Deadpool, Ancient One, Strange was dumbfounded. What is this operation, setting off a war of civil strife on Earth? Strange roared, what do you want to do, you Earth sinner? Strange, you better be honest, it's not your turn to do what I do. Yi Rishan looked at Strange with an unhappy expression. Deadpool opened his mouth to remind. If you kill these people, there will be no gods and evil forces on the Earth, only ordinary superhuman beings will be left, and the Earth will be much more peaceful and harmonious in the future. At least there will be no devastating disaster of the Earth's civil war. At most superheroes fight to destroy the city, compared to destroying the Earth, the more the merrier. Ji Yi listened, it seems that there is really such a truth, then do you want to stop it? Yi Rishan looked at Deadpool speechlessly. What are you saying what you are doing? Don't describe me so well. I also have selfish intentions, that is, my hands itch and I want to kill some gods to relieve my hands. Strange was frightened by Yi Rishan, a madman. He had just turned from an ordinary person to a magician, and he thought that he was powerful enough, but the person in front of him had already killed his gods. Yi Rishan's 900 doppelgangers nodded, and one by one they teleported and disappeared, going to carry out the order. Yi Rishan waited quietly. These unknown gods were too lazy to kill. These old antiques are all ancient, first level single universe level. At most planetary universe level, the Avatar with his 90% combat power of the same level is enough to crush. With great effort, this trip to hell is exhausting. Fight, keep fighting. I didn't stop to rest. The body is not tired, the heart is tired. The 9 great powers in the world tree will fight by themselves. In addition, Thor, the god of thunder, will also avenge Loki. Thinking of this, Yi Rishan looked at Ji Yi and did not speak. Ji Yi realized in an instant, cast a spell to take out the eye of Agamotto, and handed it to Yi Rishan. Strange's eyes widened. He also wanted. Listen to Ji Yi said that this is an infinity stone, a product of the universe, very magical, stolen some time ago to play to learn magic and cast effects on an apple, very interesting. Yi Rishan glanced at Strange lightly, Did not speak. If this guy is not honest, it is necessary to knock. Yi Rishin took the eye of Agamotto, crushed it, revealing the green time gem inside, held it in his hand. Immediately the extraction ability was loaded on the body, and there were fluctuations in the time ability on the body. Ji Yi was taken aback when he saw it. The time gem he held in his hand was not surprised, but there was a problem with the extraction ability loaded on the body. The time gem can still be used like this. Driving without infinity gauntlet. Ji Yi sighed, and secretly said, "What a mysterious person, worthy of being a strong person from the outer universe. There are really many means." Yi Rishin looked at Ji Yi. "Are you going to die? Your wish has come true." Quote. Ji Yi has 3 wishes: to destroy or stop Dormammu, to elect the next supreme mage, and to keep Earth from danger. The first 2 have been achieved. As for the third, Yi Rishin is not evil to the point of destroying the Earth in her opinion. At least not yet. Just now he said, 900 doppelgangers destroyed the rest of the forces, leaving only ordinary people, which shows that this person still has the heart of a child. Ji Yu nodded and said softly, "Yes, my life has come to an end. Dormammu is also dead, the Earth is safe, and I should go." When Strange heard this, he was very sad and kept asking what was going on. Yi Rishin nodded, raised his feet and prepared to go back to Tony's house. Yi Rishin, wait. Ji Yi saw that Yi Rishin was leaving, and stopped him. Yi Rishin turned around, puzzled. Ji Yi looked at Yi Rishin and said seriously, if the Washington incident does not happen, there will be no longer a gap between you and mankind. If one day the whole world falls into a cruel war, aliens invade the Earth, or the Earth is in turmoil, the Earth is in danger, and the innocent people are in flames, then you have the ability and strength. Are you still willing to stand up and become this great savior to save the world?" As soon as these words came out, everyone fell silent. Whether Yi Rishin is a good person or a bad person, Deadpool does not know, but Yi Rishin does not look like a good person. Deadpool's opinion on Yi Rishin is deeply aware of Yi Rishin's thirst for killing. Of course, thirsty for killing. Let him live a little longer, and the people he kills may not catch up with the many people he kills. Is he cruel? Of course cruel. Torturing people is no worse than yourself. Savior. Isn't it a good person to be? The boy who slaughtered the dragon eventually became a demon. After the generation that remembers that the Dragon Slayer boy is a hero dies, the Dragon Slayer evolves into a new generation of Great Demon King Evil Dragon, and his fate will eventually be killed by the new Dragon Slayer warrior. Yi Rishin thought about it carefully, looked at Ji Yi for a long time, and replied, "I admire the great benevolent people who have selflessly dedicated to the world, but I can't become a person like them. I can incarnate Asura to slaughter thousands of troops, or I can be calm and peaceful for my beloved to return to the mountains and forests. I walk and do things, everything is as you like, move as you like, do whatever you want. I admit that I am not a good person, but I am not a bad person. I think to do it, I will do it." After Yi Rishin finished speaking, he looked at Ji Yi calmly. Ji Yi didn't speak, he already understood what Yi Rishin meant, and it was useless to say more. Seeing this, Yi Rishin knew that she had realized, and drew the circle with magic with his mind, and with Deadpool, Hulk returned to Tony's house, and the circle disappeared. Ji Yi watched Yi Rishin leave, and sighed heavily. "My heart is full of regret and bitterness." Strange came over and comforted. "Mage, don't worry, I will protect the Earth well and never let the Earth fall into crisis, even if it is Yi Rishin." Ji Yi nodded when he heard this, and shook his head again. "Strange, you just do your best, you don't need to have too much pressure. Yi Rishin, you can't beat it, but don't worry, it seems that sooner or later he will rush out of the Earth to develop forces, and another day you will also go to New York to join the Avengers and protect the Earth together." "Yes, teacher." Strange nodded in agreement. On the other side, New York. Yi Rishin with Deadpool, Hulk reappeared at Tony's house and jumped Tony. Tony was surprised. "Yi, where have you been? You've been gone for half a month." Yi Rishin said lightly, "I went to hell and slaughtered a little demon." Tony was shocked beyond words, and could only say, "You are amazing." Hulk transforms back into Banner, and Deadpool takes off his mask and the group goes to eat and bathe. 2 days later, Yi Rishin modified the plot with the plot gem, unknowingly embodied the reality gem ether particles, and successfully collected 4 infinity stones. Thanos' position is in jeopardy. I couldn't help but think that there was still Ross and Betty who didn't deal with it. Speaking of the origin of Red Hawkross, there are multiple versions. One of them is, in the comics, he devoted his life to capturing Hulk Bruce Banner, but for various reasons repeatedly missed. In order to defeat the Hulk, General Ross agreed to let the two supervillains Murdock and the leader use gamma rays to turn themselves into a red giant, aka the Red Hulk. Unlike the Hulk, the Red Giant can still maintain a clear mind and thinking after transformation, during which he defeated the Hulk's old enemy Abomination, and then returned to evil and was recruited by the American team to join the Avengers, and fought side by side with his old rival Hulk as teammates. The appearance of the Red Hulk is very similar to that of the Hulk, except that the color of the skin is red. Eagle Banshee, Betty, Banshee of the Bird. Appearing in the Marvel Comics, The Incredible Hulk, Betty was experimented by Murdock, the leader of the AIM organization, and the two were transformed by the same organization. Captive and decided to take advantage of her, in order to create a creature powerful enough to defeat the Hulk, injected her with massive gamma radiation, making her a terrifying and crazy red monster, the Eagle Banshee. After countless battles with the Hulk recognizes Betty and helps her heal, eventually restoring her appearance. Now that Betty and Rose have been transformed, they have killed Murdock together and destroyed the organization, but the two of them can no longer change back into human beings. In the comics, Banner struggled to turn Betty back into a human and eliminate her abilities. Mr. Yi, the Red Hulk and Eagle Banshee you asked me to monitor, they have appeared, and they are in Queens. Jarvis's voice sounded at this time, and Yi Rishinal laughed, saying that Cao Cao arrived, took the Hulk, and Deadpool went out to hunt. Stealth arrives in Queens and sees Red Hulk and Hawk Banshee fighting criminals. Yi Rishin didn't want to fight here, so he took the Red Hulk and the Eagle Banshee and forcibly teleported to the remote desert to fight. The crowd appeared in the desert. The Red Hulk and the Eagle Banshee looked puzzled. Who am I and where am I? Soon the two of them saw Yi Rishin and Hulk, as well as Deadpool. Ross immediately roared! Exclamation mark. 3 murderous executioners, for the burial of Washington's people. Yi Rishin yawned and looked at Ross and the Eagle Banshee, 2 single cosmic levels, and said. To the Hulk, Hulk, activate the super change form, green form. Beat the Red Hulk to death. Roar. The Hulk transforms instantly. The body of 5 meters 5 is tall and powerful, and the superhuman battle suit Green Hulk appears. The Eagle Banshee panicked. Banner, it's me. Seeing that Betty was still not dead, Yi Rishin laughed. Cruelly, it's my lackey now, you can't wake him up. You two die. Deadpool, you go and hit her, this is handed over to you, I'll go back. Deadpool nodded and drew his 2 knives to greet him. Yi Rishin watched the battle from the side. In an instant, the Hulk beat Ross, and Ross's face was stunned. Why are you so strong? When I brought someone to arrest you, I didn't see you resist so fiercely. Ross's mind was stuck in the past. The Green Hulk is so fierce, how can the Red Giant Ross resist it? Betty is also cut off by Deadpool, and the situation is precarious. Yi Rishin made up his mind and stopped looking. The strength of the Eagle Banshee and the Red Hulk is limited, and the potential is naturally not comparable to that of Deadpool and Hulk. Yi Rishin pondered about the power of the Phoenix. Yes, he is sensing a certain timeline. He is going to collect the fragments of the power of the Phoenix and help Deadpool completely stand on the all-powerful cosmic level. In a certain timeline, the power of the Phoenix is 5 in the comic, X-Men vs. Avengers. There are strange 5 fragments of the power of the Phoenix. In fact, the power of the Phoenix that originally came to the Earth is not at its peak. It also belongs to the fragment Avatar, otherwise it will not be divided into 5 parts by Iron Man's anti-Phoenix armor, if it is a complete Phoenix power. Iron Man's armor can't touch it at all, and the 5 Phoenix Force fragments fell on the X-Men mutants, and the secret guest, White Queen, Steel Lux, and Aquaman Namor led by Laser Eye got 1/5 of the Phoenix power. Yi Rishin sensed this universe, and he wanted to use the Phoenix power of the timeline to just descend to the enchantment point of the Earth, take the Phoenix power in one fell swoop, and use the plot gems to make up for the collection and modify the plot. Thinking of this, he immediately used his idealistic ability to tear open the space tunnel leading to this world, and stepped in, and the tunnel disappeared. In a certain universe, a figure in the X-Men vs. Avengers timeline. suddenly appeared from the sky above the earth. Yi Rishan stood in the vacuum of the universe, hiding his figure. His spiritual ability unfolded, shrouded the earth, and carefully sensed the social news of the United States, and then his face was full of joy. The fragment of the power of the phoenix has not yet arrived. It is estimated that it will be soon, and it is waiting for the rabbit here. There is a lot of radiation and ultraviolet rays in space, which are extremely harmful to the human body, but Yi Rishan is superhuman, and cells absorb these highly radioactive energy substances through the outer layer of the skin and convert them into their own power. Hot vision, super strength, super vision, super hearing, body of steel, frozen breath, all aspects of the value climbing madly, endless climbing, no upper limit of terrifying growth power, giving him the ultimate path to the all-knowing and all-powerful level. At the same time, there is no oxygen in space. Yi Rishan's lungs produce oxygen and store it on their own, and the sun near is particularly hot, and a large number of yellow sun shines, making Yi Rishan feel warm and comfortable. However, as soon as Yi Rishan appeared, he alarmed the forces on the earth in this universe. Xavier Genius Junior School. Chin hurriedly ran to find Professor X, and the first thing he said when they met was, "Professor, I feel that there is a powerful psychic ability outside the earth, which seems to be nothing. Ideographic period." The professor nodded cautiously and said, "I also feel it, Gene. He not only has psychic ability, but also has a powerful body, stronger than anyone on the earth," Gene said anxiously. "Then what should we do? Is the earth going to be destroyed?" "Don't worry. He hides his breath. It seems that he doesn't want to be discovered. What should he be plotting? During this time, you let the children stay in the school well. Don't go out unless necessary. Make all preparations. Make a battle plan. Once he attacks the earth, we will immediately fight back." "Yes, Professor." Professor X nodded and looked at Earth's outer space with complicated eyes. Shield, the aircraft carrier. Deputy Captain Hill came to the office of the Supreme Council of S.H.I.E.L.D. with a report, knocked on the door. "Director, are you here? Here is a high-level encrypted information, please take a look." "Hill, come in." Hill pushed open the door and went in and looked at a black man with an eye patch in his right eye, none other than S.H.I.E.L.D. Director, Nick Fury. Fury stopped his work, took the encryption report handed over by Hill, opened it, saw. Fury stood up in fright, and asked, "Seriously, is the information true? How many people know?" "Director, the information is absolutely true. All we know is us and the monitoring team. This is what our heavenly eye surveyed. There is such a mysterious life form in outer space of the Earth. The mysterious person came out of a spatial crack, and then disappeared. I don't know whether he went to the universe or came to the Earth, and before disappearing, he gazed at the Earth." Hearing this, Fury nodded and said, "Inform the Avengers, let everyone be ready, and once they find that there is a change in the Earth, they will fight immediately." "Yes, Chief." Hill appointed and walked out, leaving Fury alone looking at the sky outside the window and quietly pondering, this person, who came to Earth for what purpose? Karma Taj. Gu opened his eyes and looked at the unknown powerhouse on the Earth, unable to come back to his senses for a long time. The force was too strong, and said to himself, "I hope you won't come to the Earth, otherwise I will try my best to stop you." Stark Mansion. Tony kept manipulating on high-end equipment and clicking. "Jarvis, did you photograph that life form outside Earth?" "Sir, I photographed it. It was a blurry figure, and the vague outline was a man." "Men. Jarvis, closely monitor the outer space of the Earth, and notify me as soon as you notice any changes." "Yes, sir." Asgard. Odin looked at the mysterious powerhouse in outer space and was silent. As long as it is not to attack him, Asgard, the destruction of the Earth or not has nothing to do with him. Yi Rishan in outer space. On Earth did not know his arrival, which caused everyone's heart palpitations. And so it went by 2 days, 5 days, 10 days, half a month later. In the 9 realms, everyone couldn't hold back, wondering if this person was gone. On this day, there were huge energy fluctuations in outer space on Earth. Yi, Odin Chi panicked. "That's the power of the Phoenix, it can't be wrong, this force is the power of the Phoenix." Quote. "So it is, this person's purpose is this, and Yi and Odin have only woken up. The power of the Phoenix, although tempting, they don't have the mind to grab it, they really can't beat it. And people came prepared, waiting there in advance. No wonder they have not moved there. Such an unknown prophetic ability. Either the big guy or the earthen turtle. How can the person not look like the latter? Calm down. Tony Mansion. Sir, that force has been precisely calculated, and it can destroy the Earth when it bursts with all its strength. Isn't it, Jarvis, so powerful? Did you miscalculate? Sir, there is no mistake, that is, it can destroy the Earth. According to detection, this force is still climbing, and it has not reached the critical point, and it is not a problem to destroy the universe if it is all put together. Hey, Jarvis, stop testing. Don't care. That person can do whatever he likes, as long as it doesn't hurt the Earth. Take that power. Yes, sir, stop testing now. Earth outer space. Yi Rishan grabbed the 5 fragments of the power of the phoenix in his hand. His face was full of happiness. At the same time, he felt the powerful spiritual ability in his body, and kept wanting to parasitize. Yi Rishan stopped it, controlled it with mental power, and forcibly modified the plot with the plot gem, and issued a gathering order to all the Phoenix Force fragments of Marvel, regardless of whether they were already parasitic to the host, or what has been harnessed by others, has been forcibly stripped out. Wolverine on a certain universe. Earth. Felt that the Phoenix power in his body was about to fly away, and he couldn't control it. I don't know what's going on. A phantom phoenix flew out of Wolverine, and a spatial tunnel appeared above the 9 heavens, and behind the tunnel was the X-Men vs. Avengers timeline universe where Yi Rishan was. No, come back, I need you, Phoenix power. Come back, what happened? Why did the power of the Phoenix suddenly stir away from the host? Wolverine roared with pain on his face below, questioning the power of the Phoenix that was flying farther and farther away. Some universe. Asgard. No. My Phoenix power, come back, where are you going? Quote. Phoenix power, my Phoenix power is gone, don't, come back. Thor, the god of thunder, stood in the fairy palace, looking at the cracks that appeared in the sky, as well as the power of the Phoenix that broke away from his body, and his face was full of prayers. Similar things happened in many universes, and this fluctuation disturbed many ancient existences, including the 5 great creation gods. The center of the universe claims to be the sum of time, abstract materialization, creation god eternal, incarnation appear. Known as the sum of space, abstract materialization and creation god are infinite, and incarnations appear. Known as the sum of death, abstract materialization, creation god death, incarnation appears. It is said to annihilate the sum of everything, abstract materialization, the annihilation of the first creation god, and the incarnation appears. The last creation god, the ontology appeared, was a huge planet, the planet devourer. Eternal stood up and said, the person who ran madly in multiple timelines has found it. It is the creature from the world tree of the main universe. Infinity added, creatures of the world tree. Isn't that the land of the ancient gods bred by the creator of the earth? Death spoke. I thought that their descendants would be weak, but I didn't expect such a powerful person, but he has been wandering around like this, and the entire timeline of the multiverse has been messed up by him. Annihilation said. He seems to be collecting the power of the Phoenix. Is he going to gather the power of the entire Phoenix? The entire history of the universe has never had a complete Phoenix power form. Is it necessary to reappear in this life? This Yi Rishan is of unknown origin, extremely strange. The Planet Eater said. Quote. Don't worry, after a while, I will send a doppelganger to see what is different about him, and kill him. So good, he disrupted the order and rules of the entire universe, and should be punished, and the battle with Dormammu some time ago broke the framework of the universe, and if it goes on like this, the entire universe will have to be destroyed in his hands, and if necessary, balance the universe and sacrifice him. Yes. I agree. No problem. Then it's settled. Subsequently, the 5 dispersed. Yi Rishan sighed. Yi Rishan turned his head to stare at a certain direction of the universe in doubt, always feeling that he had just been watched. Countless fragments of the power of the Phoenix flew in the sky, and Yi recounted 9 fragments, plus Deadpool's piece was 10. Yi Rishan tore open the spatial rift, and returned to the main universe 616. It had been more than half an hour since Yi Rishan left. Tony's Deadpool and Hulk have long since returned from fighting, and Hawk, Banshee and Red Hulk are dead. Just now, the Phoenix power on Deadpool's body flew away uncontrollably, causing him to be very depressed now, and the power flew. The space tunnel appeared, and Yi Rishan walked out. As soon as Yi Rishan came out, Deadpool couldn't wait to tell him about the loss of the power of the Phoenix, and after listening to Deadpool's explanation, Yi Rishan was a little embarrassed. Take out all the Phoenix power and hand it to Deadpool. Take it, your Phoenix power was sucked away by a villain, he was collecting all the Phoenix fragments at that time, and he also collected yours, I saw the consequences and snatched it. Deadpool looked at Yi Rishan in amazement after hearing this, why don't I believe your words? Wanama, I'm being killed by my own people. But when he thought that the Phoenix power fragments were collected, he was a little excited. Yi Rishan took him outside to absorb the Phoenix power. So calculated, the Phoenix power fragments had 9 pieces, not 10, Yi Rishan thought. All the pieces are combined into 9 pieces of equal size. Deadpool is in the fragment of Phoenix power absorbing meditation, and the highest form of Phoenix power is the White Phoenix. The strength of the King of the White Phoenix in the Almighty Universe peak. Comic timeline. Thanos' Infinity Gauntlet has the peak strength of the multiverse, but in the eyes of the Life Court, it is like a grasshopper, pinched and died, which shows that the strength of the Life Court with the Almighty Universe level is really too strong. This is the Infinity Gauntlet Thanos timeline, not the heart of the universe, the reality controller Thanos timeline. If these two, then the Court of Life is naturally weaker than Thanos. Although this issue of the comic book is not recognized and attacked by fans, it cannot be denied that it exists. As long as the issue is published and known to everyone, then the data of this timeline will appear, and even so, it is true. According to the Marvel setting, the complete version of the power of the Phoenix starts at the Almighty Universe level, and has already stood at the peak level of Marvel, except for the OAA and Bug characters who can defeat her, she is invincible. Suddenly, a terrifying fluctuation came from Deadpool's body, interrupting Yi Rishan's thoughts. This fluctuation was released in the form of powerful energy, and the tyrannical and raging aura spread to every corner of the multiverse. Strange, what kind of power is this? How come it came from that low place of the world tree? Are the creatures of that world so strong? Isn't that the world that gave birth to us? After so long, Gaia has made a new god with the creator. Who is it, who has stepped into the Almighty Universe level? Billions of years have passed since the original battle of the fallen ancient gods, there were countless casualties in that war, and the power of the divine source has long been divided. How can anyone advance to the all-powerful universe through the acquired way? What is going on? Quote. Almighty cosmic level, omnipotent cosmic level has appeared, we are only planetary and multiverse level, who the hell is this person? The power of the Phoenix, this is the power of the complete Phoenix, hurry, quickly go and find out, who is it? Some time ago, the war with Dormammu caused the collapse of the structure of the universe, could it be him? No, it's 2 people. Some time ago, the brutal battle did not have the fluctuation of the power of the Phoenix at all, and the fight was so shocking, it was impossible for him not to exert the power of the Phoenix. So, a Phoenix power, a mysterious person who fought against Dormammu. This is 2 people. Leave it alone, invite him, I'm going to invite the 2 of them to join our cosmic elders. This is the fluctuations from Midgard on the world tree, I remember that world has my magical heritage. Quote. Atrium. Doesn't a little guy have my black magic? Send her to investigate this person and use it for me. Quote. In the universe and extraterritorial dimensions, many ancient beings woke up one after another, and one by one began to revive and send people to the world tree, and more strange people and gods and fallen ancient gods came in the 9 kingdoms. The main universe Earth. Deadpool has been fused, successfully advanced to the all-round universe level combat power, the complete version of the King of the White Phoenix, the unprecedented history of the power of the Phoenix, will be remembered in this life universe in the timeline, the ancients will not be seen before, and the comers will not be seen later. The level of the carbon steel knife has been strengthened with his strength, and Deadpool's teleportation belt has also changed from needing to press a button to teleport, to his own ability, thinking that he can teleport. The immortal body, self-healing, strength, speed, defense, and mind are further strengthened. Yi Rishan watched Deadpool's combat power increase, and the super brain was running, and then he could plan those ancient gods. Living one by one for too long, This universe needs to be cleansed a wave, to make a bigger trouble, to turn the world upside down. Since the adult wants to watch the fireworks, I will light up the fireworks of the entire multiverse and calculate everyone. Gaia, Sissos, Seth, Ohit, Hogs, Agamotto, Buster, the 5 creation gods, Transcendent Protoss, Court of Life, Cosmic Elders, but also Starak, Thanos, Shield, Avengers, Inhumans, World Tree, God of Life. Wait for everyone, let's all come in. And the group of weak chicken Eternals created by Arisumu, and the Earth boss Tiamat. It represents the end of a universe and the beginning of a new universe, repeating itself. Yi Rishin thought about the above people, crazy calculation, he wants to start a big war, an unprecedented battle of gods in Marvel Comics. If not for the birth of the timeline of transcendent and molecular people is more special, he wants to plan together. Yi Rishin went back with Deadpool to prepare. Karma Taj has died. And Strange has taken the throne. On this day, he was called by the old Zuvashan Emperor Trinity in the forbidden land of Karma Taj. Strange came to a stone mural engraved with the origin of the Karma Taj heritage, on which several magical doppelgangers of characters were condensing. A female voice came from the painting wall. New Supreme Mage Strange, it seems that you have passed the trial of Ancient One and are qualified to become a Supreme Mage. I am the source of the white magic of Karma Taj. We are the Trinity of Visandi. My name is Oshit, he is Agamotto, the other is Hogs. And I ask you, can Midgard have powerful people who control the power of the Phoenix? Strange heard her self-introduction, and suddenly realized that it was the ancestor, who originally bowed and respectfully now knelt directly. Powerful people. There is one, but I haven't seen him use the power of the Phoenix. The first time I thought of Yi Rishin. Agamotto's voice sounded. Then you go find him, bring him here, we have the power to tell. Hogs also said. We want to see him. Find it out quickly. Okay, Laozu. Seeing Strange agree, the Trinity of Vishan Emperor also disappeared. Strange was puzzled, who was the person Laozu was looking for? He thought of Yi Rishin for the first time, but he had never seen Yi Rishin use the power of the Phoenix. At the same time, a woman named Wanda Maximov and her brother Pietro Maximov are fleeing in the street, and a group of soldiers behind them are closely chasing the siblings. They are the future Scarlet Witch Wanda and the Speed Quicksilver. Just as the two fled, a demon with a powerful mind came through the chaos magic in Wanda's body. The chaos magic in Wanda's body was activated, and the demon condensed a hazy blurred figure in the void, suspected to be a dark light source. Looking at the soldiers who were chasing, the demon glared at a large group of soldiers with one look. Wanda, my child, don't be afraid. Wanda heard the voice and glanced back, and the soldiers chasing them all died mysteriously. Her killer was a terrorist group called Hydra, whose parents had recently been blown up by a missile called the Jericho missile and ruined their long-lived home, and she knew that it was Anthony Edward Tony Stark, one of the biggest limelights in the United States, so she remembered Tony. The demon continued. Child, don't be afraid, I am the ancient god and the source of your chaotic magic. Sissos, the god of dark magic, blessed you when you were born. The same thing happened in Wakanda, East Africa. A month later. The outside world's crusade against Superman Yi Rishin was much quieter, and S.H.I.E.L.D. made a strong move and played with literati, successfully creating a little image of justice and brilliance for Yi Rishin. Colonel Rhodes was indignant about this and called Tony several times to advise him to hand over Yi Rishin, otherwise he would bear the consequences. Rhodes completely turned his face with Tony for this, and Tony was also fearless, and angrily went back, saying that he saw Rhodes' face clearly and handed over Yi Rishin, which was impossible. So he casually said this to Yi Rishin to show his heart and position, but Yi Rishin accepted it calmly when he heard this, and did not say anything. Wondering whether to hire Deadpool to kill him or do it yourself. Then he used his psychic ability to release the Shroud Road, crushing this fly that was making trouble in the back. The world is quiet. The military is even more chaotic. It is suspected that it is Yi Rishin, but there is no evidence, and it was scolded back by S.H.I.E.L.D., which has since gone it alone, out of the control of the White House and the Pentagon, and is alone. A month and a half has passed since Yi Rishin gave him the Hydra undercover list. Fury also lived up to his expectations and successfully eradicated the secret Hydra undercover and potential hostile forces. Due to the list information and sneak attacks, there was a thrilling revenge team to destroy a number of Hydra bases, collecting a large number of elite scientific research talents and the wealth of the rich rival country. This is also the reason why he dares to feedback that the Pentagon came out to do it alone. The White House, the top of mankind, is mad. The reverse is simply the opposite, the mess, the whole mess. It's just that things have developed like this, and Yi Rishan estimates that Ultron will not appear. As for the Civil War, it was intended to lead out under the continuous attacks of the revenge team. Hydra's base gradually decreased, calling Team America and Tony to tell the story of his brother Winter Soldier Bucky being controlled by Hydra to carry out a mission to kill Tony's father. Tony was angry and fought with Team America on the spot. Yi Rishan even told the two of them all the secrets before and after, including a certain base hiding the potential Dr. Zola is not dead, turning himself into data information stored in the computer network system, having time to kill it, and destroying the computer before he transfers the data out. In the end, the battle between the American team and Tony ended, and until the point was reached, Tony did not listen to the dissuasion of the American team, insisting on going his own way, and the American team saw that there was no other way, and left lonely with a shield. On this day, Fury gives a mission, the Revenge Squad operation, except for Tony. All the crew piloted the Kun-type fighters and set off towards Bard Castle at the beginning of Avengers 2. Yi Rishan took the stars to pass the world of 2 in Chinatown during this time, spending the remaining 1 million Chinese dollars after traveling. How can you earn so much by moving bricks? Most of them are changed jobs every 4 years. The boss, good people, rewarded, is his hard work deserves. Because of the Silver Superman idealistic super strength work accidentally used hundreds of millions of more points of strength when moving bricks, moved a lot of bricks, resulting in the boss is even more ruthless to get a piecework brick moving money making model to squeeze workers. As the name suggests, move more, the reputation is that others can move so much, why can't you do it? It is clearly an excuse to be lazy, which made the workers miserable and resentful. Yi Rishan. In the end, the matter was a little big in a little public opinion storm. In order to avoid making a big trouble in court, the boss calmed down the matter, gave Yi Rishan millions and hundreds of thousands as a dismissal salary, avoided going to court, and finally turned the big thing into a small matter, and let Yi Rishan go away when the small thing was turned into a small matter, and reluctantly let him move bricks elsewhere. Tearfully sent Yi Rishan, such a good worker, born with divine power, was played away by his own stupid operation. It can only be said that the boss cannot live by himself. Let Yi Rishan as an example to inspire other workers to have a fighting heart, and the people's hearts and means are controlled by the boss. Therefore, he has a huge amount of 2 million from moving bricks and has become a millionaire. Otherwise, how can he earn so much by moving bricks? It would be good to have 300,000. Leave Hulk, Banner and Deadpool in Tony's villa. 3 people to play games, eat snacks and brush dramas. By the way, check which base the Hydra Winter Soldier is in. Find out to kill to avenge his parents. He didn't ask Yi Rishan, he wanted to find out by his own ability. In Chinatown, a celestial empire, that is, a dumpling restaurant in Huaxia, Yi Rishan took the stars to eat dumplings happily here. The two sat face to face on a table and chair. Xingqian, or pure minced pork dumplings suit me, I like to eat this. 3 fresh fillings, leek egg filling, lamb filling, spicy chicken filling, fish filling, meat filling, vegetarian filling, corn and pork filling and shrimp filling, etc. Do not like to eat, only love pork. Ah, yes, I will find the boss to learn this later, and I will make it for you later. Well, I didn't mean that, I just expressed what I like to eat. Yi Rishan took a bite of the dumplings that filled his mouth, and after swallowing the dumplings, he explained to the stars. Xingqian had finished eating early, only eating 2 bowls, looking at the ground next to Yi Rishan, filled with 100 empty bowls of dumplings with 6-inch bowls, smiling gently, not caring that he ate so much. It's okay, prepare your lover for his favor, throw in what he likes, you deserve me to do, this is a happiness event that many single boys envy. Yi Rishan ignored her words, such sweet words. He listened to the stars and said a lot, hey. This happiness. At this moment, an amiable middle-aged man came into the private room of the two. He was the boss, and he was a Chinese man, and he had the same origin as Yi Rishan and Xingqian. Dear guest, the 101 bowl of dumplings is coming. Thank you, kind boss, I wish you prosperous business and abundant wealth. Xingqian watched the boss put down the 101st bowl of dumplings and showed him a warm and kind smile. Yi Rishan didn't have time to take care of the two, working hard to cook on the side. Oh no, dry dumplings. Boss Le looked at the stars and smiled. Oh, thank you for your kind words. Go out, everyone takes care of each other. Fellow villagers see fellow villagers, can help then help, isn't it our tradition since ancient times? Yes, that's what I said, but Rishan and I have found many hotels and restaurants, as well as food street snacks, etc., and we are not willing to let us in to eat, only you are willing to entertain us, thank you very much. Xingqian stood up directly and said, to show respect, after all, the other party is standing, sitting by himself, not very good. The boss waved his hand again and again in motion for her to sit. Wherever, they are afraid of the power of the United States, I am not afraid, besides, you are all people who win glory for the country, and you are national heroes who strengthen my Chinese power, how can there be any reason to refuse heroes from the door? The boss said with pride, his eyes full of pride and determination, revealing the happiness of being born in Huaxia. Due to the contradiction between Yi Rishan and the United States, at least 700,000 people were killed, and as many as 1 million, resulting in the Pentagon secretly wanted the whole United States, and no one was allowed to contact some people in Yi Rishan, and provide material needs, violators will be prosecuted, life imprisonment. As for Tony, that's a special person, they can't manage it, but they can manage ordinary people, who dare to eat peanuts without listening. Only he, not afraid of deathly contact, quietly went to the back door to open the private room to secretly entertain Yi Rishan and the two. This made Yi Rishan look at him approvingly, but did not say anything. Everyone has different positions. This matter, all depends on the wishful thinking of all Huaxia people, each taking their own path, each with their own opinions, they will not support and argue. All adults are right for their own selfish desires and making a living, they have to be responsible for their actions, and they should not help things beyond their ability, because you cannot afford the consequences. This kind person style Yi Rishan can't do it, just like he said to Ji Yuyi, he admires those great benevolent people who selflessly dedicate themselves to the world, but he can't become that kind of person. The same. For the words of Xingqian and the boss, Yi Rishan turned a blind eye and ate dumplings wholeheartedly. After a while, finally finished eating, planning to order until the end, it is not impossible to continue eating, but it is not necessary, the feeling of oral administration and satiety has become a reality. Yi Rishan ate enough and burped. Xingqian and the boss ended a pleasant chat and looked over in unison. Hearing Yi Rishan's hiccups, the two couldn't help but smile and ended the chat. Yi Rishan looked at the boss with a normal expression. Thank you for the hospitality, how much is the calculation? In addition, are there difficult events that need help? I can try to help you. The boss smiled, shook his head and refused, he is also a social person, of course he knows Yi Rishan's ability. That's not necessary, I am already very satisfied with providing food and drink for the heroes and doing my meager effort. Hearing this, Yi Rishan was silent. Heroes. He was just proving his innocence and doing a series of things in legitimate defense, which in his eyes became a move to strengthen the country and promote China. And his position was different, and the justice he insisted on was different. Didn't argue with the boss. Then settled the account, the boss did not accept it, seeing Yi Rishan frowning, this was accepted. Yi Rishan didn't want to eat white food, nor did he want to owe favors, and he didn't want to be unsuccessful. Home with the stars. Yi Rishan returned to Tony's villa. As soon as I entered the door, I accidentally saw the pink watch on Deadpool's wrist, which was very girly style, and I couldn't help but laugh. This hobby is absolutely inseparable from the comic book setting. Deadpool, I didn't see it, you still have this preference, I haven't seen you show it before. Since there was no fighting, Deadpool did not wear combat uniforms, but home clothes. Deadpool heard Yi Rishan's ridicule, shrugged his shoulders, and sighed helplessly. This hobby, the editors are pinching me. After speaking, he pulled off his watch and threw it into the trash. Xingqian covered his mouth and snickered, and couldn't help but come to the sofa and sit down, and said casually. What about Tony? He found Dr. Zola's base and went alone. By the way, 3,000 pairs of nanoskeleton armor have been developed, he asked me to tell you, hand it over to you. Deadpool finished and pointed to Tony's lab basement. Yi Rishin nodded, entered his fingerprints and walked in, coming to the basement, a spacious field, full of robotic arms, experimental benches and electronic engineering equipment. 3,000 pairs of armor, the number is huge, the laboratory can't fit, Yi Rishin thought, there should be another larger spacious room with a secret door. Opening the perspective circle, I really found that Yi Rishin teleported through the wall. Looking at the dazzling and neatly arranged bone armor in front of him, Yi Rishin smiled heartily. The corners of the mouth are slightly raised, hee hee. This thing, look really cool, cool mecha, nano-skeletal armor. Nano-based universal armor, the first armor with comprehensive nano-assembly technology, surpasses all previous armor in terms of attack power, defense, portability, and mobility. The seamless switching transformation technology also allows it to integrate all the specialized functions of the previous 4 generations of Mark for the first time, and the variety of equipment is also extremely rich. As soon as Yi Rishin approached, Jarvis's voice sounded, activating the artificial intelligence inside and opening the armor. Yi Rishin called Xingqian and asked her to wear a pair, and the nano armor could automatically adjust her height. Yi Rishin immediately put the remaining 2,998 pairs of armor into the storage room and flew out wearing 1 pair. The stars followed. Coming outside, Deadpool was bored with himself, went to watch TV, made armor, he was not interested. Yi Rishin took the stars and the 2 of them to fly in the sky. Yi Rishin looked at the screen and chuckled through the eyes inside the armor and the intelligent scanning of the external field of vision. Not bad, this first-person visual sense is really different, not in vain I was envious when I watched the movie. Tony was very sensible, which made Yi Rishin very happy. The nano armor improves the effect of quick wear, and can be attached to shrink clothes at any time and fight immediately. But the things in the nano-skeleton armor were all changed for him, and Tony took it upon himself, knowing that loading those weapons, bullets, small missiles, defensive shields and anything was useless to Yi Rishin, so there were not too many other munitions systems in the armor. Instead, it is more optimized flight propulsion system, artificial intelligence networkless system, no network can also be service, but cannot call the internet, inside heating and cooling, filtration, oxygen storage, and even some food and other dry food, and many other functional overflows. Dry food can make people last for about a week. Of course, this is effective for ordinary people. Despite this, Yi Rishin still felt that Tony had a heart, and was very satisfied with it, and I kept saving you in vain. Tony's understanding is absolutely nothing to say. In the original work, he created a variety of Spider-Man armor for his godson-like Dutch brother, developed a variety of black technology functions, and there were 576 concepts in the form of spiders alone. This is also one of the reasons why Yi Rishin admires Tony, who treats his own people quite well, and fights to carry a nuclear bomb to save New York alone, a playboy billionaire who never bullies the poor, and is also a philanthropist. As for the shortcomings of sleeping the cover girl, arrogance and conceit, that's not a problem. Geniuses have had quirky personalities throughout the ages, you and I will, and I didn't see the cover girl sue the police afterwards to catch Tony, harm. At this moment, the phone on Yi Rishin's body rang, and then asked the artificial intelligence Jarvis in the armor to help turn the number over. This artificial intelligence system should be a subsystem of Jarvis. Yi Rishin was too lazy to change the name, so be it, just play. Let the artificial intelligence in the armor Jarvis answer after bringing the number over. Mr. Yi, Fury is calling. Yi Rishin wondered why Fury called him, and Fury's voice sounded. Hey, Yi Rishin, we met 2 superpowers in Bard Castle, the other party is a man and a woman, and the ability is suspected to be a speed and a magic girl. When Yi Rishin heard this, he knew who it was, the corners of his mouth turned up. Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, you are finally here. It's just that now that Loki's psychic scepter is activated by Hydra and Ultron, how are their abilities activated? After all, that's how they appear in the movie. As if knowing Yi Rishin's doubts, Fury spoke. The ability of the 2 awakened is unknown, they came from the people, all the way to inquire about the news of the Avengers, saying that they were looking for revenge on Tony the Iron Man. Maybe they had the wrong news, mistakenly thinking that Tony was acting with us, but she didn't see Tony after she came, so she did something to Rogers. The 2 are too strong, the Avengers can't resist, you see. Fury explained. wanting to say and stopping, waiting for Yi Rishan's statement. As soon as Yi Rishan heard it, he understood that this old guy wanted to let himself subdue them. It's not impossible, these two Yi Rishan have plans to personally attack. Chaos magic, to be precise, black magic, he is very hungry. As for why Wanda and Quicksilver still have the ability, Yi Rishan doesn't care so much, just throw them to the confusing timeline. Since the Deadpool massacre, the angrier the stronger the Hulk. After coming out, the world has long been out of the original trajectory, all unreasonable, under some unknown influence, will eventually correct the original foundation. I don't know if it is good or bad, Yi Rishan frowned. He said, okay, these two will be handed over to me to deal with, you let the American team hold on a little longer, I'll come right away. On the other end of the phone, after hearing Yi Rishan's agreement to come, Fury's hanging heart finally had a landing, and with him on the horse, it would definitely succeed. Yi Rishan didn't know that his skills, influence ability, status, etc., already had faint signs of flattening Captain Marvel in Fury's heart. Okay, thank you. Fury hung up. Yi Rishan conveyed his will to the stars and flew her to her destination. This speed is the time speed at which Tony created nanotechnology, up to Mach 3 to 4. White House, Pentagon. Those two sets of Mark armor flying in the sky, who is wearing them? Didn't Tony leave an hour ago? Report Shangguan, their speed is very fast, we detected it, it was Tony's family that flew out, and it was predicted to be Yi Rishan and his woman, or Deadpool. These two madmen, came out again, I really want to beat them down. Sir, this, we can't afford to mess with, we can't afford to provoke. Quote. Shut up, soldiers, just act like you didn't see them, adjust the game mode for me, I'm going to play a Thunder Fighter to relax. Soldier. A few minutes later, Yi Rishan brought the stars to Bard Castle in skeletal armor, which seemed to be filmed in Italy. Coming to a woods, there was a lot of war everywhere, long guns and short cannons, explosions and bullets. Due to Yi Rishan's destruction plot, the Hulk, Tony the Iron Man, and Thor who should have been there are gone. Yi Rishan and the two fell from the sky. The American team, Black Widow, Hawkeye, saw the two of them relieved. Reinforcements arrived. Black Widow has already fallen to the ground with serious injuries. Hawkeye is also a leg wasted and unable to fight again. Only the American team is still holding on. I can spend a whole day with you. Wanda is watching from the sidelines, seemingly knowing that the other party will send reinforcements, for example, Iron Man. To the speedster Quicksilver keeps running to destroy the American team. The American team is constantly knocked down in the air, but still strong to say the lines. Strong will, let Yi Rishan impress him, worthy of the American team. This Marvel America can really shape heroism and character spirit. Wanda, who had been watching the battle for a long time, was overjoyed to see the Avengers reinforcements coming, but when he saw that it was two pairs of Mark armor, he was puzzled, but he still shot Yi Rishan and Xingqian just fell, and before he could stand firmly, he felt that his skeletal armor was not under control. Mr. Yi, the outer armor is controlled by an unknown magical force, the nano armor cannot break free, and it is damaged by 25%, and it will be life-threatening in a while. Is it out of the battle armor? Yes, open the armor. Okay, Mr. Yi. Hearing Jarvis's data analysis report, Yi Rishan walked out of the nano armor, and so did the stars on the other side. Wanda's hands were remotely controlled, and the terrifying red magic energy kept gathering in his hands, and a powerful ability to modify reality condensed, heading towards Yi Rishan and Xingqian's bone armor. Seeing two figures inside the armor come out, Wanda couldn't understand. You, who are you, why are you inside, Tony? Yi Rishan watched as the two sets of armor were squeezed and deformed by Wanda's manipulation, and spoke. Who am I, don't you recognize it? As for Tony, how do I know where he went? When Wanda heard this, she secretly said, what the hell is going on? Wait, this person looks a little familiar. You're the Washington reporter who reports on the God of the world, Superman Yi Rishan. Yi Rishan looked at her playfully. I didn't expect that I was already so famous, even the famous Scarlet Witch knew me. Receiving Yi Rishan's affirmation, Wanda was panicked in her heart. Her ability has just awakened. Mental power, chaos magic, psychic ability, flight, and many other abilities are not stable. She thinks that she can beat Tony with this ability, but the person who came is Yi Rishan, the evil god Superman in the world. A madman destroyed a city with one punch and killed at least more than 700,000 people. How to make her not panic? At least she is currently unable to do such a great ability. Of the terrifying power, strong physique, flight that ignores gravity, mysterious teleportation and human magic, his reputation has long surpassed Tony. It's just that no one knows where he lives, every time he appears is not fixed. Yi Rishan sees that Wanda has not returned to his senses, is immersed in his arrival and the ghost is obsessed, immediately shot, chaos magic, to be precise, black magic, I want it. Yi Rishan teleported over and punched Wanda, who flew out hundreds of meters in pain, far away from the battlefield, and crashed into more than a dozen large trees before stopping. Shish. Strong, so strong. Sure enough, he came out, there is nothing that cannot be solved. Can't be an enemy. Resolutely unable to be stunned for the enemy. American team, Black Widow and Hawkeye were stunned, and thousands of thoughts flashed in their hearts. Seeing this, Kuai-yin hurriedly shouted. Sister. Gave up continuing to torture the American team, ran quickly towards Yi Rishan, tried to hit Yi Rishan. Yi Rishan glanced at Fast Silver, his eyes always followed Swift Silver's movements to run, every second and every frame did not let go, closely synchronized his speed. Fast Silver. While running and looking at Yi Rishan, his heart was shocked. What is going on? Why can he see the trajectory of my extreme speed running? Why can his gaze synchronize my body instead of staying on my afterimage? What is his look? Fast, gritting his teeth, raising his speed to a level again, running with all his strength, running out of the limit of his body, the void has a ripple effect as if it can't withstand to crack. Yi Rishan moved, clenched his fists, punched. Boom. Quicksilver also punched out, and in an instant a strong huge force surged from his fist, and he couldn't withstand its impact, and his entire arm was blasted into a blood mist, screaming in pain, and stumbling out. Ah! Yi Rishan quickly followed, played super speed, and punched Kuai-yin's chest again. Boom! Quicksilver was beaten into seeds, his body evaporated rapidly, and he didn't even have time to scream, turning into nothingness. Quicksilver's body was too weak to withstand Yi Rishan's punch. Team America and Hawkeye and Black Widow only felt a flash in front of them, and Quicksilver's arm was wasted, and he didn't have time to think, and then he was blasted into a powder. Fast, too fast, this series of things happened too fast. Team America, they simply didn't have time. Including Wanda. No, brother. Wanda roared her brother in pain. She was seriously injured by Yi Rishan's punch, unable to fight anymore, spitting blood in her mouth. Her breath was weak, and she didn't die because she controlled chaos magic and modified reality, and her physical fitness was special to not die, but she was also dying, strong, the enemy was too strong. It feels like a giant mountain. No matter how she looks up at the bottom of the mountain, she can't see the end of the mountain, but no matter what, witnessing her brother being killed, she can't sit idly by anyway. Thinking of this, she is angry, her eyes are red, the intention of revenge overwhelms her sanity. Wanda Tien burst out, a powerful wave swept away, her whole person stood in the air, magic healed her wounds and stood up. Yi Rishan used the biological force field to extinguish this impact force for the first time, form an enchantment. Wanda sealed his hands and cast the chaotic magic of the turbulent waves, wrapped in Yi Rishan, and at the same time used his psychic ability, mental power and other ways to strangle in many ways. Yi Rishan is fearless. After the battle between Hell and Dormammu, plus white magic Karma Taj, the body has already strengthened a lot of magic resistance, adapted, only the 4 ancient god level magic can hurt myself. I used to be close to the mage, what do you think will happen to the mage? Psychic ability and mental power. Yi Rishan are directly immune, mental power is offset by the biological force field, the body of steel is as strong as a rock and does not move like a mountain, and Wanda T does not move Yi Rishan with the slightest step. Yi Rishan bypassed the magic and teleported over to Wanda, who was anxious and hurriedly turned the magic towards Yi Rishan. But Yi Rishan was faster, punched her stomach with all his strength. Wanda's eyes burst, her body flew out uncontrollably, fell viciously to the ground, rolled several times and died. Yi Rishan looked at it calmly. He knew that things were not so simple, turned his head to Xingqian and said, Xingqian, you go back first, I have something to deal with. Well, I'll go back to Stark Mansion and wait for you. Yi Rishan nodded, grabbed Wanda's body to a remote place, and threw her body in the open space too. Sense the breath of Sissos, the four ancient gods of Marvel or Gaia, Sissos, Seth, and Haps. They are all one of the gods born in the Marvel universe and one of the first creatures on Earth. Odin, Zeus and other gods on the Earth. Most of the father-level god kings were created by Gaia, so Gaia is also known as the mother of the gods. In the comic, War of Chaos, the villain King of Chaos has destroyed 98.76% of the multiverse. Many god-level characters have been killed by the King of Chaos in seconds, but Gaia can resist the King of Chaos on Earth for a moment, until the heroes defeat the King of Chaos with stratagem. Set was the first to discover that devouring the same kind of ancient gods can become stronger, and single-handedly triggered the ancient god war, and then united with Sissos to work together to kill a number of ancient gods of the same position as himself, seize their power, and absorb their divine power. So later, most of the ancient gods began to devour each other, imitating the snake god Seth. Gaia could not bear them to kill each other, went to the center of the earth alone to combine with the creator of the earth and gave birth to his son God-Eater Autumn, slaughtered and drove these fallen ancient gods out of the earth, expelled from this universe, and the fallen ancient gods fled to other dimensions. So now the ancient gods who live on the earth are left with Gaia. Seth's body is large enough to surround several parallel universes, and Seth's record of defeating a part of the Phoenix power has a doppelganger, and has devoured the fragments of the Phoenix power. Sissos, like Seth, is an evil god who has devoured his kind. He is the first dark magician in Marvel, and the strongest one, so he is called the god of dark magic, and is the source of all dark magic abilities. There are many Hellards and dark creatures in Marvel who have borrowed the power of Hades, and the vampires of Dracula's vein were created by the Book of Darkness, left on Earth by Hades, and in the early comics, the source of Scarlet Witch's power was also Hades. As for Haps, Yi Rishan does not remember. There are few records in Marvel Comics, and no one knows his traces later, and I don't know whether he was devoured or fell. The god of black magic, Sissos, has many versions and code names for translation errors in the comics, so many Marvel fans do not know that he has many names, such as what Thorn, Kausan, Hades, Hutton and other gods of dark magic, in fact, are the same person as Sissos. The true source owner of the god of dark magic is Sissos, which is his true name. Other names are either mistranslated versions or Sissos' trumpet is making trouble in the multiverse, and his appeal has caused great influence by casting the name of doppelganger and faith in multiple worlds. It is worth mentioning that the Scarlet Witch, her original ability was only chaos magic. She was blessed by Sissos when she was born, and wanted to control her for his use while she grew up to be proficient in chaos magic, which is the purpose of Sissos. Wanda's second ability, and the ability to modify realistic settings and ignore probabilities, is the result of experimentation. In the manga, derived from being kidnapped as an experimental subject by the Supreme Evolutionary, thereby gaining the ability to chaos magic and modify probabilities. In the comics, the strength of the Scarlet Witch is undoubtedly the real world. She is not the Scarlet Witch in the comics. Yi Rishan stopped thinking, looked at Wanda's corpse, can withstand her full strength punch without flying away as the most bizarre, this, beyond her ability. Yi Rishan said, Sissos, do you come out by yourself, or I beat you out. When the words fell, Wanda's body came out of a large black fog, suspected to be black magic. Yi Rishan's body instantly dizzy, a sense of weakness struck, a little uncomfortable. Ahem, worthy of the god of black magic Sissos, the source of black magic in the Marvel world. The power of the horse spell was activated, the body suddenly adapted, and the feeling of weakness passed away little by little, coming and going quickly. The dense fog of Sissos shrouded this void and spread rapidly, wrapping this small world into a realm of its own, and a black shadow in the cosmic starry sky converged into a gloomy man, looking at Yi Rishan. You are the god of the world in Wanda's memory, Superman Yi Rishan. It is worthy of being the one who fought with Dormammu's trash, and actually knew of my existence, hee. Quote. Hearing Sissos's words, Yi Rishan's super brain is planning, this is another Tao doppelganger, and when his body comes to slaughter him, my demon resistance will be full. The expression was mocking. Hee, Dormammu is a small trash, how can you not be a big trash? Is it proud to know your existence? How are you special and can't be known? Sisso's eyes became cold, slightly angry. Pretentious, noble and disdainful. You lowly creature, I am the four ancient gods of antiquity, the first gods of the birth of the earth, your ancestors. You think you have some strength and are empty-eyed, arrogant, junior. I advise you not to be too presumptuous, don't seek your own death. Isn't it just that you were born earlier? What is proud? What are you barking in dogs? I am low in your eyes, then you think you are in my eyes, what do you think you are? A degenerate and brain-dead evil god, also embarrassed to call himself an ancient god, has not been chased and driven out by autumn by others, the dog who lost his family, and dares to speak out here, and is not afraid to make the world's superheroes laugh. Yi Rishan shot back with disdain on his face and attacked Sissos. Hearing Yi Rishan's ridicule and disdain, Sissos was furious, how could he know so many ancient secret things, and angrily reprimanded. Yi Rishan, what do you know? Even if I am a fallen ancient god, then I am also a god, not comparable to your weak earth creature. Yi Rishan, kneel down, sacrifice you. A dog with a broken ridge also dared to bark in front of me, was beaten out of the house and fled in embarrassment, and now he dares to return and bark everywhere. How Shufu, old thief, you are about to die in a catastrophe, you die on the spot without knowing it, and you are still bluffing in this complacent fox fake tiger power, and a defeated subordinate of Yatam dares to say such a rude thing in front of me. I have never seen such a cheeky people. Listening to Sissos's words that he was still forcing lie, Yi Rishan interrupted him on the spot, angrily dismissed, righteous, and rebuked back with eternal anger. Sissos was dumbfounded, listening to Yi Rishan's large number of idioms scolding him, so that he didn't know how to return the favor, was scolded and forced. Two things, how can this kid be so good at mouth? It makes sense, I can't scold what to do. Sissos only felt a rush of chi and blood rushing up his throat in his heart, making him angry. You stupid human being, I can't beat him, can't I beat you, give me death. Seeing that he couldn't scold, Sissos was angry and corrupted, and wanted to kill Yi Rishan, so he immediately shot out his fist after casting an enchantment. Seeing this, Yi Rishan was ready to make a plan. Sissos, a multiverse-level combat power. He is also a multiverse level, and although he has just advanced, he is not afraid. The back waves of the Yangtze River push the front waves, the blue is better than the blue, the era of old things is gone, another day slap the predecessors on the beach. Yi Rishan opened up his combat power and responded with a punch. Boom. Yi Rishan was repelled from the infinitely distant time and space, countless huge barren stars were smashed by him, the endless vision of the sight flew upside down to the sky, the breath was weak and spit out blood, and then he was directly blasted out of the end of this cosmic space and fell to the ground in front of Bard Castle in reality. The punch of the two of them fought each other, and the impact force swept the entire universe, shocking countless ancient existences in the universe and the gods of the 9 realms, as well as the forces of the earth, setting off the surprise of most of the forces in the universe. They looked at it with curiosity, fear, worry, fear and other emotions. This is the breath of Sissos, the god of dark magic. Who is he fighting against? How dare he appear? Isn't he afraid of Yatam? Shish, terrifying, such a powerful shockwave, it has not appeared for millions of years. Is this universe going to change the sky? Yes, since the birth of many gods such as Odin, Vishnu, Jade Emperor and many other gods in the second batch of creatures of the world tree, the war of gods broke out, and then to the cosmic celestial god group, there has never been such a big movement in the universe, and occasionally there are superheroes making small fights. Everyone, be quiet, don't you think this force is strange? This breath is the mysterious powerhouse who fought with Dormammu some time ago, and after Dormammu was killed by him, he was not heard from, but he did not expect to appear again. This breath is the central world in the world tree, an extremely striking planet from Midgard. That's right, there is also the owner of the full version of the power of the Phoenix, the all-powerful universe-level king of the White Phoenix, who is also on that planet. What is the difference in the atrium, which can so attract these two strong people to stay here? Whoosh. If this humble atrium were not in the center, no one would have noticed it. It's the earth, I know it, I have a word, please listen quietly. On this earth, there is a country with the most powerful solid power, There are many good and evil organizations, Hydra and the Avengers are led by Team America and Iron Man. It is worth mentioning that the Superman who claims to be the god of the world who has recently been in the limelight, Yi Rishan, is very powerful, unparalleled combat power. His two younger brothers have immortal bodies and strong self-healing ability, Deadpool and Banner Hulk, plus the Chinese girl suspected to be his woman. Yi Rishan. I know, I remember, this breath is him, the person who fought and killed Dormammu, and that Hulk, who became stronger every time he was angry. It was really strange. Then it's a real hammer, and that Deadpool, some time ago, a Phoenix Phantom surged out of his body. I'm afraid it's the holder of the power of the Phoenix. Yi Rishan, Deadpool, Hulk, girl. What is the origin of these four people and why they are so powerful? Looking at the entire parallel universe and timeline, it is impossible to find people with similar abilities and powerful people. It's really weird. That Yi Rishan's unique genetic system, rare and unique in the world, is a creature that has never been recorded in the universe. This is a brand new race of life. I wonder if he still has a clan or descendants. The ancient existence in the universe was talked about a lot, and finally someone groped out Yi Rishan's identity information. A strong man in a certain galaxy sits high under his throne. This body is as tall and powerful as the Hulk, purple skin all over, vertical stripes on the chin, wearing the infinity glove made by the Dwarf King, inlaid with red power gems, is a cosmic overlord, who has slaughtered and conquered many planetary countries, ruled and enslaved and killed countless races. It is the murderer Thanos, who is feared in the universe, a ruthless man who talks about changing color, and a slaughterer who is afraid of anxiety, who has long been famous and powerful. Thanos was born on the moons of Saturn. The Titans, formerly known as the Eternals, was born ugly and weird, did not match the clansmen and was abandoned by his mother. Orphans grew up, and his skills were extremely strong. After growing up, he witnessed many factors of birth, old age, illness and death and lack of resources, and thought about life. The resources of the universe are limited, the desire for life is infinite, and the scale tilt will eventually collapse in the long run. As a result, a population was born to destroy half of the universe to ensure the balance of the universe and restore order. He also persuaded his clansmen many times to wake up and control the population and not to overexploit resources, but he was blasted out and expelled from Titan, and eventually there was turmoil in his hometown, lack of resources, war, and self-destruction. This also strengthened his belief that Thanos single-handedly established his own power after coming out, and had a large number of subordinates. At this time, he looked at the fluctuations from the earth, solemn, and said to himself, God of the world, Superman Yi Rishan. Loki's waste lost the mind gem I gave him, and if he wasn't dead, I would have wanted to destroy him myself. In this way, the Infinity Stones on Earth should have been obtained by him, and now Yi Rishan has 4 gems: mind, reality, space, and time. Own the power gem. The last soul gem is still missing, my position is in jeopardy, and I am too far away from realizing my ideals. Quote. Thanos feels unprecedented difficulty. The enemy has already set of 4. He is only one set. How to fight this? Thanos is in a bad mood right now. Just as Thanos was pondering, an evil will descended. Chatter, son of destiny, Thanos, is he troubled by the feeling of killing Yi Rishan? Let's make a deal. I can help you get 6 gems. You bring back his body to me. How is it? Thanos got up and exclaimed. Who are you? You don't need to know who I am. I come from the Crimson Universe and am the Supreme Lord of the Crimson Dimension Hell. The rest you guess slowly, chatter. Shish. Thanos suddenly realized, it turned out to be him. World Tree, Midgard, India. Orientals, why did this earthly god Superman Yi Rishan set his sights on us? We didn't offend him in anything, why would he attack us? That's right, this thing, our clan and people are going to be killed. The forces are uprooted, all the gods without exception. It is difficult to escape. What does he want to do? Does he want to exterminate us? According to the information, isn't Yi Rishan active in the United States now? Quote. That's right, we weren't afraid in the face of the cosmic celestial god group back then. This Yi Rishan is really sinister and cunning. Send these 300 doppelgangers to chase and kill us. Other people's doppelgangers are only 2 or 3% of the body, or even half of the strength. He is good, directly inherit 90% of the combat power of all strength. We can't hold on to the 3, let alone 300, this still plain Ema. Don't say anything, run away, our clan will be killed, there will be only 3 of us left. Vishnu, Brahma, Heavenly Emperor and other 3 people frantically fled, looking at the 300 Yi Rishan doppelgangers chasing and killing behind. The 3 of them filled their hearts with fear. They were only a single universe level, supporting the peak of death full level, how to fight the multiverse level Yi Rishan. Or 300, I bought a watch last year, this leaf is open and hanging, how to fight this? Somewhere in a secret place, Olympian. Ancient Greek mythology, Zeus is the first powerful god is gasping for breath, already unable to help. This person is the supreme leader Zeus. Zeus led the gods to fight the invaders. Suddenly 300 Yi Rishan doppelgangers hit them by surprise. Zeus was seriously injured, a person struggling to support, blinded watching 299 Yi Rishan doppelgangers slaughter his people and descendants. The god of war Ares was punched, he roared into the sky. Ah! Yi Rishan, I fought with you. He didn't understand why Yi Rishan was eyeing him. Obviously they didn't have any intersection, but this world is always a world of the jungle. Death is imminent, extinction is imminent, no matter how many questions there are, it is useless, because everything will be meaningless. Zeus rushed forward with all his strength and delivered the final blow. At the eastern heavenly court, the 4 heavenly gates are broken, and it has always been famous for its fairyland. Fairy chi is fluttering, there are countless fairies, but the magnificent and rich heavenly court is in a tattered situation at this moment. The wall collapses and pillars, there are corpses and immortal gods spitting blood everywhere, and there seems to be a life and death battle in the immortal world. There are many, strong people in the sky who are struggling. Among them are Lei Gong, Electric Mother, Jade Emperor, West Queen Mother, Zhurong, Guan Yu, Nezha, Antarctic Immortal Wang, Yanluo King, Sun Wukong and other immortals who are fighting to the death against outsiders, 300 Yi Rishan's doppelgangers. The scene was extremely chaotic, because Yi Rishan had too many doppelgangers, resulting in more than a dozen scenes of the gods of the heavenly court, and everyone could not beat Yi Rishan's doppelganger, let alone be beaten by multiple people. Watching one by one die in battle, Zhurong, King Yan Luo, Guan Yu, Lei Gong, Electric Mother, and others all died, the Supreme Heavenly Court Heavenly Venerable Jade Emperor couldn't help but roar. Yi Rishan, why are you slaughtering us like this? You and I are both members of the Oriental Chinese divine lineage. I am the Supreme God of the East, the Great Heavenly Venerable, you are my people, why do such great disobediences and dare to slaughter God? Quote. Silence. As soon as the Jade Emperor Great Tianzun's words came out, the scene quieted down. These words are not only his doubts, but also the rest of the gods who are still vomiting blood, their breath is disordered, and they can't even stand up steadily. Yes, everyone is one, the East is united, why kill each other like this? The New York American team and Black Widow, as well as Hawkeye, all returned to S.H.I.E.L.D. in the Coon-style fighter to recuperate, and with Yi Rishan's arrival, they no longer had worries and scruples, and all contradictions and wars were solved. With Yi Rishan, there was no enemy that he could not solve. Even Fury unconsciously believed Yi Rishan, mixed with Yi Rishan, and suddenly felt that Captain Marvel was not fragrant, and hugged Yi Rishan's lap. He has led S.H.I.E.L.D. from the United States to become a separate institution. Since the last time Zidori's army of aliens invaded Earth, the White House insisted on dropping nuclear bombs to try to blow up New York, and not long ago launched all more than 100 nuclear bombs to kill Yi Rishan and Deadpool and Hulk, and many behaviors broke the heart of old Fury. This group of politicians is trusted, they worked hard to defend the Earth for them, but they were abandoned by their own people. So Fury came out to do it alone. He now has a large number of talents and wealth of the country, fully capable of going it alone, and even more in the United Nations Security Council to join in to become a party to speak. This makes the popularity of the White House crazy. On the contrary, all opposite. S.H.I.E.L.D. was completely out of their hands. Bard Castle can't even bear a punch from my doppelganger, and he dares to shout at me, it's really an ant who doesn't know the height of the sky. If it weren't for the fear of being discovered by Artem, how could I use this, and when my body comes after a while, it will be the death of you bug. In the void came the sneering voice of Sithos, who defied everything and stood high. Sithos then receded and disappeared, and the sky returned to normal. Yi Rishan was bombarded and lay on the ground, listening to Sithos's words and not taking it seriously, as if he had not heard it. He got up and broke his wrist casually, and patted off the non-existent dust and dirt on his body to do a ritual. Looking at the direction where Sissos left, Yi Rishan's eyes were neither sad nor joyful, and he thought in a deep and dark voice, "Old miscellaneous hair, you can't see it if you do a little trick, is the ancient god so brainless? Stay in the outer dimensions of the universe one by one, hurry up and come all over." Yi Rishan was blasted out of space at the end of the universe, but there was nothing at all, his wrist was only slightly dislocated, there was no injury on his body, and the blood was also vomited with reality, but it was such a strange act, Sissos didn't see it at all. A bunch of artifacts on Yi Rishan's body and his own ability to destroy the sun are useless, how can it be defeated by one punch? +4 infinity stones, superhuman body, unprecedented combat power is a mess, really afraid that if you are not careful, you will expose your true strength. Yi Rishan was in a daze in place, the super brain frantically calculated something, and then thought of something, and sneered. It seems that we have to speed up the planning process, and slaughter those gods in advance. Bring some people out as soon as possible. Suddenly felt the will coming from the 300 doppelgangers in the east, and couldn't help but be a little puzzled. Jade Emperor. Ask me why I slaughtered the gods, you and I are one. Quote. Yi Rishan's mind drew a circle, the vision in the circle is the eastern heavenly court, Yi Rishan stepped into it, Yi Rishan's footsteps stopped, and when he looked back, he found that another golden magic circle appeared out of thin air, and out came the supreme mage, Dr. Strange. Just no cape. Yi Rishan guessed his intentions, he fought with Sissos, this familiar power of the god of black magic Sissos, must have been felt by his opposite, the god of white magic, Victory, so he called Dr. Strange to investigate. Yi Rishan said to the surprised Dr. Strange. You go back to Karmataj and wait, I'll go over to find you later. After speaking, Yi Rishan's yellow aperture portal shrank and disappeared. Dr. Strange is numb, what is this called? It seems to be late. People not only finished fighting, but also left the United States, went to the east. It seems that the east itself has not been, do you want to go and see? He told himself to go back and wait. If the old ancestor Waishan Emperor knew about this, thinking that my mission failed and did not bring back people to be angry, what should I do? Thinking of this, Dr. Strange panicked. I don't know how to be good. Yi Rishan changed into a Superman suit and came to the sky above the heavenly court. When the Jade Emperor Great Tianzun asked that question, the 300 doppelgangers did not continue to move, they also had their own will and thoughts, and only obeyed the ontology Yi Rishan when necessary. The same origin, the essence is one, they also have Yi Rishan's past and present life memories, so there is no difference from the ontology, the only difference may be that there are more or less differences in personality. The body Yi Rishan appeared in the heavenly court, and the first time everyone's vision in the Lingxiao Hall. Noticed this person, the Jade Emperor, the Western Queen Mother, Sun Wukong, the Antarctic Immortal Wang, Nezha and other 5 people, they were panting madly and delaying time to secretly heal themselves. 300 doppelgangers leaned over, Yi Rishan nodded, looked at the 5 Jade Emperors, and stayed on their faces one by one, only for a moment they had an idea, and spoke. Kill them all, they are different from the immortals we remember. The character shaping in Marvel is mainly based on the United States. These Oriental immortals are completely strange and strange bodies. They are completely inconsistent except for the names of the gods we know. They are all completely inconsistent. They are all imposters, it's useless to keep it. Don't flood the heart of the Virgin so much, kill them all. Quote. Hearing this, the 300 doppelgangers thoughtfully. The Jade Emperor, the Queen Mother of the West, Sun Wukong, the Antarctic Immortal, Nezha and others were in a panic. They couldn't understand what Yi Rishan said earlier, but the imposters mentioned later, they all killed, but they could understand. The Jade Emperor was even more angry and furious. Stop, humble mortal, I am the Eastern Heavenly Court Jade Emperor Great Tianzun, dare to disrespect me, I am a god bred by Gaia, the mother of the earth, growing in the world tree world, a true and true god, where is the bullshit imposter, I am genuine. That is, we are all orthodox gods, where is it like what kind of imposter you said? I see that he is clearly looking for excuses and wants to slaughter us. Bah! What is it? Ordinary people also want to slaughter God, disrespect God, deserve capital punishment, and degrade the 9 ghosts. Quote. The Queen Mother of the West, the Antarctic immortal Wang, Nezha and the others cursed at Yi Rishan, filled with righteous indignation, and reprimanded with bloody and righteous words. However, they did not pay attention to Sun Wukong's expression. When Sun Wukong heard Yi Rishan say that they were all impostors, he was suddenly startled in his heart, remembered his own experience, fell into the mysterious hole and came to another world, and saw another monkey king who was exactly like himself. When he was frightened, his body kept trembling. You, how do you know that we are impostors? Who are you? What is your relationship with the real Monkey King? When everyone heard this, they all looked over, except for Yi Rishan and the doppelganger. You fox, Sun Wukong, what nonsense are you talking about? Dead monkey, what nonsense are you talking about? Don't mess around. Boom. Yi Rishan's 300 doppelgangers used their hot eyes to instantly kill the Jade Emperor, the Queen Mother of the West, the Antarctic immortal Wang, and Nezha who were still chattering. Only the Monkey King was left. Doctor Strange walked out of the golden circle of portals. In order to avoid being punished, he eventually followed Yi Rishan to the east. Looking at the corpses and the remains of the heavenly court, there was a mess of chaos and war everywhere. Scared out of a cold sweat, ruthless, really a ruthless person, a bit heavy in killing, and couldn't help frowning at Yi Rishan. Yi Rishan and the 300 doppelgangers glanced at him lightly, did not speak. Yi Rishan looked at Sun Wukong and said, "Since you know the truth, then there is no need to talk nonsense, go and die." Wait, you. Sun Wukong still wanted to ask clearly, but Yi Rishan didn't want to talk about it in detail, and punched him in the air. Monkey King, Pawn. The Eastern Heavenly Court, the personnel of the divine lineage, are all dead. Turning to look at the doppelganger, 300 doppelgangers figured it out. The ontology Yi Rishan was right. This is the other world after all. Since it is a reliving life, there is no need to think about the old feelings of the previous life, not to mention that they are even more impostors. 300 doppelgangers turned into power and returned to the body. Yi Rishan accepted it gladly, turned to look at Strange and said, "Let's go and meet your ancestor, the white magic inheritance Emperor Weishan." Strange came back to his senses, looked at Yi Rishan, a little scared. No wonder the ancient mage let himself not stop him before. Let him do his best to, how to fight this, too strong. Strange opens the portal and takes Yi Rishan back to Karma Taj. Yi Rishan followed closely, while thinking about the origin of Emperor Weishan. The trinity of Vishan Emperor is the all-powerful Oshit, the god of white magic, Oshutu, the all-seeing Agamotto, who later ascended to the throne, and the old Hogs. Only through the trials of Emperor Vishan can he become a supreme mage, and supreme mage is also a tradition left over from the honorific title given to excellent mages by Emperor Vishan. 4 billion years ago, Oshutu was a kind ancient god like Gaia. She and Agamotto and Hogs together formed the Vishan Emperor, who guarded the earth. Vishan D was in charge of the white magic in Marvel. The background of the supreme mage lineage was them. Agamotto was also the first supreme mage. He once formed the Ancient Avengers, with Odin, the original Black Panther, the first evil spirit knight, the first Phoenix woman and others. They were active 1,000,000 years ago. Shortly after the birth of the earth, the consciousness of the earth incarnated as the creator, sowing its own life essence on the earth, giving birth to the ancient gods, who were the first life on the earth. The ancient gods are a race with a large number of members, among which Ohit is far more interested in the universe than on Earth, so she leaves Earth and begins to travel through the universe. In the process of exploring the universe, Oshit encounters the alien ancient god Hogs, the last survivor of an ancient mysterious race whose name seems to be connected to the ancient gods, and they travel together as companions. After returning to Earth, Oshit saw the joy of the newborn human beings and left a terror in which Agamotto was born. It is worth mentioning that Agamotto also shed a tear, which turned into the Agamotto Eye, that is, the green eye that contains the time gem. When Agamotto came of age, the three ancient gods formed the Trinity God, Vishan D, to help humanity prosper under the threat of the god of black magic, San, the snake god, Seth, and the eye demon, Shuma Grants. The white magic emperor Veshandi, who recorded everything in the world, and the corresponding god of black magic, Sissos, are inherently opposed. Sissos, the god of dark magic, is set to be the strongest dark magic in Marvel. And he is active in various timelines, so it is not necessarily a translation error that causes him to have many names, but he has corresponding names in different periods. However, such a strong person was chased and killed by the sun Autumn, born of the combination of Gaia and the Creator, also known as Autumn, so that Sissos, the snake god Seth, the eye-demon Shuma and other 3 people were expelled from the earth and the world tree, and went to the extraterritorial dimension universe outside the world tree universe. Yi Rishan followed Strange to Karma Taj, accidentally saw the head of the library, Wang, remembered this person, the last time he came to Karma Taj to learn magic. Wang accepted Ji Yuyi's permission at the first time, and then left. Yi Rishan's doppelganger smoothly entered to read the magic book, causing the doppelganger to have no memory of him. Wang, this person is quite loyal and honest, not only to decide who is worthy of going through the private collection of the ancient mage, but also to prevent the divine spell from falling into the hands of evil. Wang is humble and quiet, never makes mistakes, and is loyal and honest. If someone wants to steal the library's collection, they must first pass the King's Pass. This guy appeared in Avengers 3 New York, and has been faithfully accompanying the Supreme Mage, Strange, to resist the invasion of Earth by 2 of Thanos' men, and even later drew a portal in time to save Iron Man's life. Later, he drew circles with fake punches, defeated Abomination, and took him back to Karma Taj to heal his injuries. Strange took Yi Rishan around multiple rooms and secret corridors, and came to a dark room stone mural. Yi Rishan was speechless. Why didn't I find this place last time? Careless. Strange said respectfully to the 3 people of the stone wall portrait. Old ancestor, I brought the doubters of the power of the phoenix. Hearing this, Yi Rishan calmly glanced at Strange. It turns out that you treat me like Deadpool. What? You mean, the phoenix power holder is Deadpool? Strange was stunned. I leaned. I brought the wrong person for a long time. Deadpool, isn't this the person next to him who carries 2 knives in a red and black uniform? Boom. In the stone fresco, a powerful force appeared, a powerful idea crossed the endless universe, and suddenly came to the earth through a special spirit, and came to the earth from a long distance. The 3 heads of Karma Taj appeared one by one. The all-powerful Oshit, the middle-aged Agamotto, the old Hogs, and the trinity of Vishan Emperor. The eyes of the 3 descended on Strange and Yi Rishan, feeling incredible when they felt the swollen sense of power on Yi Rishan's body, the huge and majestic aura, and the vigorous vitality like the sun. Oh shit. Why is your body so strange? Could it be that you are also one of the ancient gods born in ancient times and have survived to this day? Quote. Strange cried out in pain. I saw that Hogs invaded Strange's brain cells, looked through the memory, and then learned the ins and outs of Yi Rishan, and passed it to Agamo and Oshit. Hogs. No, he is not an ancient god. His name is Yi Rishan. He is from the Eastern Celestial Empire. He first appeared in New York a few months ago. His origin is unknown, his whereabouts are mysterious, extremely powerful, and he is peerless and rare in the universe. Agamotto. This madman has destroyed a large city with millions of people. Countless lives and property have been wantonly destroyed and trampled on by him. And more importantly, this person does not respect us at all, and dares to intervene to intimidate the Supreme Mage Ji Yuyi. He really does not put us in his eyes. Through Strange's memory, Agamotto learned about Yi Rishan's series of actions after coming to Karma Taj, and was so angry that he couldn't take them seriously. Strange fainted. Yi Rishan looked at the 3 ancient gods one by one in amazement, and the speculation of righteous words attacked himself, and when he heard Agamotto's words, his eyes sharpened, and he calmly said, It's me who is abrupt. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have helped Ji Yuyi deal with her internal affairs. I apologize for my reckless private behavior, sorry. Yi Rishan said calmly. Furui Wubo's eyes made it impossible to see his mood. Oh shit. It's okay, our duty of the Emperor of Vesan was to protect the existence of mankind and help future generations of people against the evil forces of Sissos, Shuma, said and others. Hogs don't say that about him. Hogs. The eye demon Shuma has died strangely. I can't feel his breath, I don't know how to die. Our duty is already small. The transmission of the Atrium White Magic Trial Mage has been taught for hundreds of millions of years. It is enough, there is no need to pay for this group of weak Atrium people. The kind Oshit frowned lightly, not very supportive of his words. Agamotto. Oshit, you're behind This Yi Rishan not only quickly crossed multiple levels to advance to strength in a short period of time, but also faced us with no respect to speak of, and did not bow down to us to show that the faith is noble. Such a devout and dedicated believer, Midgard is no longer suitable for us to maintain. We as the oldest ancient gods in Midgard, the descendants dare to look directly at me and so on. It is really unforgivable. Agamotto agreed with Hog's words very much, helped Hog's dismiss Ohit's opinion, and at the same time, the two of them also had selfish intentions. Oshit's eyes were full of complexity, looking at Hog's and Agamotto, the three of them who should have been inseparable from countless eras. Now Oshit suddenly felt strange to each other. Yi Rishan looked at the three people's respective words. Oh, it shouldn't be said, Hog's and Agamotto camped. Yi Rishan slaughtered the Eye Demon. Theoretically speaking, he was already in the same position as the Waishan Emperor, and no one was Yi Rishan's opponent, looking at this Waishan Emperor and sneering. I am not your descendant, let alone received your favor. On the contrary, I also helped you destroy Dormammu and Shuma. You not only did not thank me, but also dared to angrily accuse me of disrespect. Waishan Emperor, it seems that you have lived too long, you don't ask about the world, you don't know the reason. The brains are rusty, the nobility in the bones is ordinary, it's time to fall off the altar. Yi Rishan looked at these two old miscellaneous hairs again, his eyes gradually bloodthirsty emerged. Any world is the law of the jungle, natural selection, the laws of the dark forest of the universe. Every civilization is a hunter with a gun. No civilization does not want to become stronger, and Hog's and Agamotto are nothing more than jealous and puzzled when they see themselves soaring all the way to the combat power level, so they want to kill themselves and force the way to solve it in order to improve themselves. They have been stuck at the peak of the multiverse level and the unstable initial omniverse level for a long time, and they can't wait to become stronger. Why did the original snake god Set suddenly devour the remains of the same kind? It was not because he discovered by chance that as long as he killed and encroached the divine power of the same kind, he could strengthen himself and feed back and enhance his divine power, and he was also taking steps towards the high-end level step by step. Now that the war has passed billions of years, the divine power has long been divided, escape, death and death, everyone's strength is stable and stagnant and stuck, and now Yi Rishan's strange promotion makes them see hope again, a new way to break the shackles. Yi Rishan's stern expression turned to Wei Shan viciously. Oh shit, thank you for speaking for me, it's just, we have different positions, there is no need to say more, he will see you soon, we are the enemy, you die and I live. In addition, Hog's and Agamotto, you two old miscellaneous hairs, wash your necks and obediently wait in the supreme dimension given to you by the court of life, when I will personally visit Tuur and other Emperor Vishen. After Yi Rishan finished speaking, he turned around and left. These three old things really thought that they didn't know which dimension and which world they were in. Dare to covet your own strength, it is really looking for death. It is useless to kill the three phantoms, it can only disgust them. Yi Rishan's words shocked the trinity of the Vishen Emperor. How did he know that he lived in the supreme dimension of the court of life? This kid was strange, and he couldn't let him go. The trinity of the Vishen Emperor glared. Angry, Oshit was also a little annoyed. What is this, Wei? Threaten yourself. However, Oshit still endured it and did not say much, because she also felt that Hog's and Agamotto had done a little too much, but they were one camp, and this was HMPH. Dare to run, give me death if you don't hand over your secret. Hog snorted coldly, his eyes condensed a convergence of magical energy, and a magic ray instantly formed and struck over. Click. Hog's powerful magic particles penetrated the void, revealing the starry universe behind the void. The powerful and unfathomable energy fluctuations attacked Yi Rishan. Yi Rishan noticed the movement behind him. His face became cold, his right hand took out the superhuman sword, the left hand had the spirit of vengeance, the fire of God, the enchanted superhuman sword, and a sword blade slashed over. Boom. The powerful confrontation frequency burst out, countless forces vented out, shaking Karma Taj. Countless mage disciples fled Karma Taj in panic, and the dark room was constantly collapsing and ruining. Seeing this, Oshit's mind sacrificed a magic portal and passed the dizzy strange to a safe place, enwrapped Yi Rishan with magic and pulled him into the mirror world, taking the battlefield away from Karma Taj Yi. Rishan saw that Oshit's magic was not harmful, so she simply let her pull herself into The mirror space, different from the mirror world of urban high-rise buildings in Ancient One, the mirror space of Oshit's level is more inclined to the cosmic starry sky. Yi Rishan's superhuman sword extinguished Hogs's magical attack, and the sharp blade of the superhuman sword, and the super flame of God's fire mercilessly burned its magical energy, making him angry. What kind of sword are you? What kind of fire is so powerful? Unheard of, never heard of. Oshit and Agamotto were also stunned and extremely surprised. Throughout the entire multiverse, there is no strong person like you, with terrifying weapons, mysterious and powerful flames, extremely special origins and bodies, and the body can also absorb our white magic energy. Who are you? Yi Rishan learned Karma Taj magic after many aspects of increasing the demon resistance, and then fought with Dormammu and Sissos in the Hell Demon. Plus the silver superhuman idealism is innately immune to the body kryptonite demon resistance to many factors, and has long been immune to the magic demon resistance flat body beyond the standard of strength and self-healing is the same as the demon resistance. The white magic of the Trinity of the Waishan Emperor has long been unable to cause trauma to Yi Rishan, unless it is the arrival of their own body, but the three virtual shadows in front of them cannot be delivered. Stay in Karma Taj every minute, every second, the cells in the body are frantically absorbing magical power. A vast amount of magic energy like an ocean is absorbed. The cells of the whole body are enjoying incomparably happy, and the body is strengthening at every moment. Including the first day he first stepped into Parkway Street in New York. I don't know if it was Marvel's American-based factor or what. Yi Rishan always felt that after coming to the United States, he absorbed much more yellow solar energy than he absorbed in Washa, and countless yellow sun rays irradiated him, making his daily body values soar and climb in a terrifying, indescribable speed and exaggerated way, and massive resources were endlessly drilling into the body of steel. Bugs. In the mirror space! Exclamation mark. Yi Rishan, hand over the secret and spare you not to die. Seeing that Yi Rishan blocked his attack, Hogs jumped like thunder, and immediately cast a spell to manipulate the energy of another dimension to accurately hit Yi Rishan. Hogs, you stupid and blindly arrogant idiot, it's time to die. Seeing that this old thing held his identity as an ancient god to put pressure on him, he appointed himself to be angry, and Yi Rishan was equally fierce. After speaking, he lifted the sword of Superman, teleported over, and a sword pierced Hog's head, without a gorgeous explosion, nor much movement, and it dissipated so plainly. Hogs, pawn. Oshit's face changed slightly. Agamotto was furious. Agamotto's head flew forward, opened his mouth and spit out a huge powerful magic ray, and slammed into. Yi Rishan also hit back with hot eyes, plus the flame of the enchanted god's fire, against Bo Agamotto. Boom. Yi Rishan and Agamo were shocked and retreated. Yi Rishan's hind foot stepped on the ground to stabilize his figure, and in an instant, the barren star under his feet was trampled on, and a large amount of magma and flames gushed out, shooting into the universe. Hogs's head flew upside down uncontrollably, and soon stabilized, only to feel a roar in his head, and a strong sense of vertigo concussion made him feel uncomfortable and uncomfortable. The two rays fought to a draw. Oshit, who was watching the battle, also shot out in an instant. His head teleported forward, and powerful psychic ability and magic control swarmed, a brain that invaded Yi Rishan, trying to analyze Yi Rishan's secret. A magic manipulates his body to immobilize in an attempt to defeat him and seriously injure him. It is a pity that Yi Rishan can be as she expected. After strengthening his spiritual ability with idealistic ability, his spirit is already extremely powerful, not to mention the Phantom Oshit. Yi Rishan is safe and sound. On the contrary, the magic energy control, Yi Rishan's body was shocked, and the biological force field was released, invisibly annihilating this magical energy. Oshit was shocked. Yi Rishan struck with all his strength, and slammed a punch on Oshit's head, scattering it, and he didn't have time to say anything. Agamotto saw that both of his homotopes were dead, and only he was left, and he couldn't help cursing. Why are you so strong? How can there be such a strong person as you in the universe? The newly promoted multi-level brat can actually fight our 3 veteran multi-level. Even if we are Tao Phantoms, we shouldn't be beaten so violently by you. Which cosmic god group are you reincarnated? Quote. The more Agamotto scolded, the more angry he became, and he couldn't help but think that the origin of the brain supplement Leaf Day and Day is the reincarnation of the celestial god group, and the last life of each universe is rumored to be the birth of a new celestial god group, which they call divine appearance. Yi Rishan mocked. Whether I am the cosmic celestial god group, you will know in the future, now you should die. You forced me. Seeing Yi Rishan's fierceness, Agamotto couldn't help but be extremely angry, condensed all his strength, powerful thoughts converged, an unparalleled terrifying blow that was enough to destroy an earth, and violently broke out to kill Yi Rishan. Yi Rishan became dignified, fearless, retreated the blackened battle suit, changed into a superhuman battle suit and picked up the superhuman sword, perceived the spiritual intelligence of the superhuman sword, irrigated his own thoughts. To kill gods and remove demons, and kill the enemy with me. The superhuman sword felt Yi Rishan's belief, emitted a dazzling white color, illuminated the entire mirror space universe. The light was radiant, the endless rainbow light did not decrease and became stronger, penetrating the mirror world and illuminating the entire 9 realms. Yi Rishan held the superhuman sword and pointed at Agamotto, quickly forward to kill. Boom. Ah. Yi Rishan, you wait for me, I will come back. Quote. A powerful blow shattered Agamotto's head and dissipated in the void. Dying in horror roared out the last unwilling Agamotto, Pawn. The mirror world was shattered, and a powerful force burst out of the sky and rushed into the universe. The outside world and the 9 realms were stunned. Quote. What is this power? This fluctuation is enough to destroy the world. Who is it? Who is the hell starting the battle? Director. This force came from Karma Taj over there. The American team, they are back. Yi Rishan is still there. It is estimated that he made the movement created by the fight with people. Jarvis, who did the powerful force of immediately accurately calculating and deducing formula evolution. Also, can the symbiote you study have a new process? I'm going to give the leaf to my symbiote to strengthen my skeletal armor. Sir, it has been accurately calculated. This frequency amplitude exceeds the largest force sound wave that the Earth has ever seen, and the impact and damage caused can easily destroy the Earth and destroy all mankind. According to Miss Starr, it is the ripple caused by her husband's battle with people. In addition, you let me overcome the technology of deriving the symbiote assimilation bone armor, and the current formula has been predicted, and you can improve it at any time to make the symbiote armor. Oh, it's Yi, that's okay. Good job, huh? Good. What a terrifying power. My spider induction strongly sounded the alarm, sweat exploded. What is this sound? Wow, what a shocking scene. I guess it was done by that Superman Yi Rishan. When I put on this suit of what you said of an ant, do you say I can beat Yi Rishan? Do you agree with what I said, Dr. Pym? Countless people in the United States looked in the direction of Karma Taj, and they were extremely shocked by the sound of this apocalyptic disaster. Spider-Man, Sandman, Falcon, Bucky, Ant-Man, etc., talking about it. Africa, Wakanda. Brother, according to my calculations, the holder of the phoenix power that the ancient gods asked you to find is most likely the god of the world in New York, Superman Yi Rishan. I used high-tech black into the satellite surveillance system of the United States, and observed that the magnetic field strength that can destroy the Earth was made by him in the Karma Taj Holy Land. Well, sister, you are so smart. Worthy of being comparable to Tony the Iron Man, the top scientist in New York, I know. Brother, what do you say? I am much smarter than him. I am 1 level higher in wisdom than him. Brother believes in you. After the old king of Wakanda left, his son T'Challa took the throne, and at this time, he and his sister Su Rui were standing in front of the window and discussing. On the world tree, among the 9 realms. Here it is again, this force is coming again. Needless to say, Yi Rishan is him again. What the hell is this madman doing? Make such a big move. Don't talk about this. Recently there have been many ancient gods in the universe. They have rampaged and slaughtered countless planets and creatures, the most famous of which is the guy who overlord of the universe called Thanos, the executioner in the entire multiverse. Don't say that everywhere he went, there was no grass, and he also used the breath of power gems to slaughter all sides, and his army of demons was innumerable, and his 5 subordinates were also invincible. If I want to say that this is still not the most terrible, as far as I know, this Thanos is a titan, his planet is going to destruction. Let him germinate that the resources of the universe are limited, the population and long life are infinite, so he wants to slaughter half of the population of the universe to repair the balance of the universe. This madman, what should we do? Don't panic. I heard that he is collecting the oldest infinity stones in the universe, collecting 6 infinity stones to try to destroy half of the population of the universe in this way, and he only has one now. Mind, Space Gem is Midgard in the heart of the World Tree. Some time ago, Midgard broke out with fluctuations in the Mind and Space Gems. Midgard. Isn't that the atrium? Superman Yi Rishan is also there. It is estimated that the gems have been obtained by him. It is better to attract Superman Yi Rishan and let them go to each other, wouldn't it be beautiful? It's a way to do it, but who's going to do it? Yi Rishan's strong man is so powerful, killing the demon ancient god heavenly emperor everywhere in Midgard. His means and deeds are not inferior to Thanos' hegemony journey, and it is very difficult to communicate. According to reliable information, Yi Rishan slaughtered the demons in hell, emptied all filth, successively destroyed Mephisto and Lucifer, as well as Satan, and finally even the terrifying demon god I-Demon. And Dormammu also died in his hands. Some time ago he fought with the doppelganger breath of the god of black magic, Sissos, and now he fought with the trinity of Vesandi. Such a terrifying record, placed in the million-year universe, is also unmatched. He proved to the universe that the atrium is powerful, it is not as barbaric and cowardly as we think. This madman has provoked so many forces, it is enough to show that this person is extremely crazy. Brainless butcher, you want to lure him to kill Thanos. I have to say that it is a daring idea, but what reason can you find? This. The scene quieted down, and the dialogue of a god analyzed Yi Rishan's historical achievements before and after, and they fell silent, the unrivaled, unimaginable brilliant achievements, all of which were lofty ideal deeds that they could not look forward to, but now they were completed one by one. At this moment, someone proposed. We can let Odin, the god king of Asgard, go, and attract Yi Rishan to the universe, and spread the reputation to the ears of Thanos. Once the infinity stones in Yi Rishan's hand are known by Thanos, they will definitely come to the door to fight Yi Rishan. Haha, wonderful, it's just, how to let Odin obediently provoke Yi Rishan. What's so difficult about this? Odin's thing is also dying, the strength is not as good as before. I went up to personally threaten him, he didn't dare not go. Haha, your excellency is a good plan, really wise and powerful, wise and wise, dare to ask who it is. Don't dare not dare, I am the snake god Seth, and now I am just a Tao doppelganger. I also want to see how different this Yi Rishan is. Quote. The serpent god race. Hiss. Quote. Who is Seth, the snake god? Countless ancient beings in the universe are chatting, their huge will covers the universe, countless powerful spiritual links are intertwined and communicated, and when someone finally asks who the other party is, the snake god set comes out. No one dared to talk anymore, knowing that the existence was not afraid of this powerful evil god, praying not to be targeted by him. And I don't know who the snake god Seth, in confusion and ignorance, asked, but no one solved his confusion. On Yi Rishan's side, he had already come out of the mirror space and stood in a deserted place near Karmataj. The mages of Karmataj are being rebuilt. Ignoring the shocking fluctuations caused by himself, and thus restless the news of the universe, he destroyed the 3 heads of the Vishan Emperor and withdrew the superhuman sword, flew into the void, and prepared to go home. Suddenly, 600 doppelgangers flew back in unison, conveying through their thoughts, indicating that the gods Vishnu of India and Zeus of ancient Greece, the god of war, Ares, and others were all dead and slaughtered. The body Yi Rishan nodded, and 600 doppelgangers returned to the body. Next, there are no slaughters left in the 9 realms. The world tree is different from the 9 realms. It is a towering tree comparable to the size of the entire universe. There are 9 balls on the tree, which are 9 worlds, and the position of Midgard is in the center of the tree. The world tree is an ancient existence from the same period as Gaia, the mother of the earth. The origin of the world tree is not simple, Yi Rishan thought carefully. Feeling your own strength, basking in the sun is getting stronger every moment. The growth of silver superhuman idealism is infinite, and there is no upper limit to the numerical ability in all aspects. The unparalleled strength in his body made him proud of the 4 ancient gods, and after destroying the 4 ancient gods, it was time to hunt the creation gods. Yi Rishan narrowed his eyes and calculated. Yi Rishan returned to Tony's house, briefly chatted with everyone, and went to bask in the sun. Calling Fury in the evening and asking him to prepare for it, in 2 days to take revenge to Africa to grab vibranium, Fury received. At the same time, Fury and Team America are secretly contacting Bucky, hiding from everyone. 2 days later, Yi Rishin took Tony, Captain America, Natasha, Hawkeye, Deadpool, Hulk, Star and others to East Africa in a Kun-style fighter. Fury remained in command of S.H.I.E.L.D. Natasha pilots a Kun-type fighter. Since Tony was still tracking Bucky's location, and Team America was protecting him, Tony watched Team America away from him with hatred, and was really afraid that he couldn't help but give him a shot. In the fighter, Tony asked, "Yi, how many mountains of vibranium in Wakanda you mentioned, do they have more heart-shaped grass?" As soon as these words came out, everyone heard the prestige and looked over, and they were very concerned about this picture. Yi Rishin said, "This is nature, rest assured." Receiving an affirmative answer, everyone's breathing became rapid, and their eyes full of greed and longing could not wait to reach Wakanda quickly. Half an hour later, they arrived at the boundary of Eastern Africa, flying blindly on it. Natasha asked, "Mr. Yi, the East is so big, how can we confirm the specific location of the Wakanda country?" "Yes, they are so technologically advanced, hundreds of years ahead of the world, are they hiding in the valley?" Yi Rishin said, "Their technology is unprecedentedly developed. There is an invisible protective enchantment outside the country without being discovered by the outside world. The people are strong, cold weapons are all made of vibranium, spears and shields, well equipped. King T'Challa succeeded to the throne, he ate heart-shaped grass, in physical strength, speed, strength, agility, resistance to strikes the body has been upgraded to the peak, similar to super soldiers. Her sister Su Rui's wisdom is not lower than Tony, it is the top in the world, there is no one. Shish. Except for Deadpool, Hulk, Star and others, everyone, including Tony, was surprised to listen to Yi Rishin's news. Wakanda, just the world's hardest metal vibranium is enough to make them proud. Plus the heart-shaped grasses all American teams, they use cold weapons does not mean that they must be weak. Not to mention the black technology weapons that have been ahead for hundreds of years, the energy lethality is huge. Yi Rishin got up and spoke. "I'll sense their location, you guys come with me." Yi Rishin changed into a Superman suit and stood in the void, and the Kun-type fighter stopped. Yi Rishin's psychic ability unfolded, shrouding the entire East, sensing that there was something unusual in all the spaces. In the East, in the royal palace of Wakanda, a clan guard hurriedly ran and said, "Report to the king, the outside world suspects that the invaders are looking for us, staying near the East and refusing to leave." T'Challa wore the king's clothes and said lightly, "I know, step down." "Yes, your highness." The skinny black female guard walked out. T'Challa came to her sister Su Rui's room and saw that she was clicking on the display screen one after another, and the picture above was Yi Rishin's group. T'Challa said, "Sister, you said he won't find out our location, right? We have a high-tech invisible enchantment shield. Don't worry, brother, he will never find out. In the era of poverty and backwardness in the outside world, how can it be compared with our Wakanda? In other words, he should be the person the leopard god is looking for, but we don't have to go to him." Quote. T'Challa replied absent-mindedly, watching Yi Rishin standing still in the sky, looking around. He had a bad premonition in his heart, and always felt that things were not so simple. Su Rui saw that T'Challa was solemn and serious, knowing that he was worried that Yi Rishin would find his kingdom, and couldn't help but change the topic and comforted. "It's okay brother, you don't have to worry, the person the leopard god is looking for should be him. You go to the sacrifice ceremony first, pray to the leopard god, the person he wants has already appeared." Hearing his sister say this, T'Challa came back to his senses and left here, only then remembered the business. The leopard god has been telling himself to find this phoenix power holder, now it seems to be this Yi Rishin. According to the source of the system that hacked into the outside world, he is called the god of the world, Superman, extremely powerful, eyes are hot, infinite strength, extremely fast, teleportation, immortal body, super self-healing, steel body. The more T'Challa thought of Yi Rishin's ability, the more irritable he became, and he couldn't help but have no confidence to be an enemy of him, and the heart-shaped grass he ate did not show his such great strength, not to mention that Yi Rishin disappeared out of thin air with more than 100 nuclear bombs, and returned intact. Unfathomable, bottomless, many means, strange and powerful, this is T'Challa's evaluation of Yi Rishin can't. help but speed up the pace. The more he contrasts, the less confident he is to hold Wakanda. He must be prepared to do bad. T'Challa came to a heart-shaped grass altar, found a statue of a leopard-headed man, scratched his fingers with a cold weapon made of vibranium, and squeezed a drop of blood into the leopard god's mouth. Boom. After the statue's mouth absorbed T'Challa's blood, it bloomed with endless brilliance and psychedelic glow that affected people's minds. T'Challa knelt down reverently, bowed down to the statue of the leopard god, and chanted, "Wakanda, the great leopard god based, your servant lord of the kingdom T'Challa came to visit. You want me to find the holder of the power of the phoenix, I have found it, and ask the leopard god to show up." When the words fell, the leopard stretch statue condensed into a leopard-headed human leopard tail in the endless magnificent light. The leopard god opened his eyes and landed lightly, looking condescendingly at T'Challa at his feet, and said in a noble tone, "Well done, my servant, where is he now?" T'Challa was stunned when he saw the leopard god appear, and looked at the leopard god with a humble gaze. In the previous sacrificial rituals, the leopard god was a voice, even a phantom. Unexpectedly, this time he directly incarnated in human form and came to his side. How not to let him frighten and stunned. The leopard god looked at this servant in a daze, did not answer his own words, frowned slightly angry, snorted coldly, raised a kick on T'Challa's shoulder. HMPH. T'Challa was kicked and flew in a trance, only to feel a powerful kicking force. His body flew upside down uncontrollably, fell heavily to the ground, the blood in his body surged, and his throat spit out a mouthful of blood. T'Challa quickly came back to his senses, knowing that he was wrong, endured severe pain, and his weak body quickly got up and crawled on the ground and knelt down. "I'm sorry, leopard god, it's me who lost my mind, please forgive my stupidity. That man's name is Yi Rishan, and he's in." A loud noise interrupted T'Challa's words, and the leopard god did not continue to listen to T'Challa's nonsense, turning his head to look in the direction of the Wakanda palace. A person with a red S symbol printed on his chest walked in front of him, holding a snow-white transparent sword in his right hand, calmly watching the two of them step by step, invisible coercion and huge aura rushing towards him. Calm steps swept in like fear, the two only felt that a sense of death and killing enveloped themselves and could not move. "Come on, Yi Rishan." A few minutes ago, Yi Rishan felt the spatial frequency in the void, flew to a huge desolate plain somewhere in the east, and felt that Wakanda was here, but it was empty below. Yi Rishan stopped flying and looked at the clearing below, as if he could see through the invisible kingdom of Wakanda, and punched the invisible but substantive-like transparent enchantment with the puzzled faces of the Avengers. Boom. The high-tech, indestructible, extremely defensive Wakanda protective cover enchantment instantly shattered, like a mirror split into countless pieces scattered and disappeared. No matter how high Wakanda's black technology is hundreds of years ahead of the world, it cannot resist Yi Rishan's violent as a gluttonous beast's terrifying power. The enchantment quickly withdrew, revealing the true face of a Wakanda, gathered together like a primitive tribe. Su Rui was stupid in the palace. As soon as his brother left, the enemy punched out the protective shield they were proud of. The invaders were powerful, and Wakanda was exposed to the world, dangerous. Su Rui immediately issued an order to let the tribal female soldiers dress neatly, fight to protect their homeland, and resist the invaders from the outside world, but Su Rui couldn't figure out how the people from the outside world found them anyway. Yi Rishan fell from the sky, sacrificed the Superman sword, and wore the Superman suit. The Coon fighter landed closely behind him, and Deadpool and Star teleported out without waiting for the fighter to stop. One after another, Banner, Tony, Team America, Black Widow, Hawkeye and others dressed and ready to fight in real time. Yi Rishan glanced at the buttocks of the American team, who said that the American team's buttocks were good in the previous life. It seems that the American team felt Yi Rishan's gaze, turned his head and thought that there was something behind him, but there was nothing, a little puzzled. Yi Rishan spoke. "Good dog, activate the super change system, Green Hulk." Hearing this, except for Deadpool and the Stars, everyone looked at Banner in amazement. "I lean on, Banner was adopted by you into this look, call him a dog." In addition to Tony, Team America and Hawkeye and Black Widow couldn't help but overflow with sympathy, looking at Banner and Yi Rishan with pity and frown. Such disrespect for humanitarian insults is a bit too much. Banner is a 7-doctor doctorate, a top elite physicist in many fields, a biologist. Now that he has actually become someone else's dog, if it were not for Yi Rishan's strength, the American team would have a little want to help Hulk, and his concept does not support or approve of Yi Rishan's doing this, which is not right. As for the Black Widow Natasha and Hawkeye Barton, they have more than enough strength and lack of strength. They can see it. Yi Rishan is too strong. The director and Natasha have been beaten. They don't dare to have a different heart at all. Cannot be enemies with him. Try not to be enemies with him. Banner is a dog. Banner's eyes are dull. Hearing the words of the master, the nerves of the body tense as if he has obtained supremacy, and the absolute obedience instructions engraved in the bones of the genes. Instantly transformed into a body that quickly became 5 meters and 5 meters larger, and the Green Hulk without a cape in the dark blue Superman suit appeared. Yi Rishan continued. Deadpool, good dog, you also go and help them. Quick victory, Wakanda does not leave a living mouth. I'll go to them, King. After Yi Rishan finished speaking, he disappeared. Yi Rishan's words, the American team frowned again, slightly angry. Wakanda did not leave a living mouth, all killed. Doesn't it mean that you only grab vibranium? If you want to kill, just kill a little or hurt it. There is no need to exterminate the family, right? The American team was very dissatisfied with Yi Rishan's approach, but did not say anything. The enemy was too strong and hindered by the disadvantage, and it was good to secretly leave some people alive for a while. Hawkeye also thinks the same as Team America, which is why he became a masked Ronin killer after Avengers IV, fighting criminals and murders everywhere in New York. And his heart was full of anger, although he did it with venting, and his loved ones were killed by Thanos, but it did not prevent him from having a righteous heart. Natasha felt that it didn't matter. She had performed a lot of tasks, she was born a killer, and she had killed countless people. Tony is angry, bent on revenge to kill Bucky. Dr. Zola's hidden base is found by him to successfully kill and understand what happened. Although Bucky is controlled, but as the knife master, it is impossible to say that there is no responsibility. Yi Rishan let kill Wakanda. Tony was a little uncomfortable for a moment, but then looked away. He wiped out 700,000 people in Washington, and although he knew he was wronged, he never harmed himself, didn't he? He also never takes advantage of himself to ask for benefits. The cost of eating, drinking, housing and travel and nano armor are clearly calculated. And both sides take everything they need to start from the benefits, plus they have saved their own lives. As long as it is not him Yi Rishan slaughtering the United States, he can do whatever he likes, he can't control it. Tens of thousands of troops walking in the distance in Wakanda, black women. Mostly cold weapons, spears and shields, they are neatly unified military posture, regular and strict militarized management order. This is Wakanda's strongest female guards, fully proving that women can also go to the battlefield, let alone lose to men. A black bald woman led the leader at the head and shouted. Foreign invaders, it is forbidden to step into the front, please leave quickly. You have stepped into the territory of another country and will be regarded as invaders, and you will bear the consequences of taking a step further. Yi Rishan's group didn't say anything, and the Hulk jumped out first, killing hundreds of female guards in one fell earthquake. Tony flew into the sky and released a high-output pulse magnetic cannon in his chest with long-distance energy storage, killing a large area. Hawkeye archery. Natasha and Team America rushed into the crowd to fight closely, throwing a shield and stunned 3, but did not die. Natasha glanced at him and did not say anything. Deadpool's method is extremely fast, and the two knives go all the way forward to block and break people's waist, and he uses his all-powerful cosmic level to hit mortals. It really is overkill. Deadpool found a group of little Karami to kill as much as he wanted, before either fighting demons or demon gods. Can now finally be unscrupulously unilaterally slaughtered. Deadpool's double knives flipped and squandered. The killing intent in his eyes became more and more serious. After many days on the Origin Earth, he can slaughter the Marvel Universe to his heart's content. Yi Rishan ignored them, and stepped out of teleportation to the outside of the palace gate inside Wakanda. Empty, all the female guards and soldiers were transferred to the front line to fight. Yi Rishan looked at the second floor of the palace, piercing through the obstruction of the obstacles on the walls, and Saw a black spirit girl who was constantly controlling on high-end instruments. When she saw the monitoring on the display screen revealing Yi Rishan outside the gate of the palace, her pupils shrank hugely. The enemy. Inside it. Yi Rishan crushed her brain with his mental power in the air, and Su Rui didn't have time to call the guard, so he fell down with a straight body, pawn. Yi Rishan then searched in the palace, a little puzzled. Why didn't he see the black brother in T'Challa? I wonder which of them has whiter teeth compared to the black people on the black toothpaste. Yi Rishan's psychic ability unfolded like a net of heaven and earth to cover Wakanda, only for a moment found that T'Challa was kneeling religiously in front of a leopard-headed statue, and was shot out by a leopard-headed person with a leopard tail. Guessing in his heart, this should be Buster, Yi Rishan couldn't help but be a little irritable. How the demons and ancient gods in Marvel like to come with doppelgangers. This time, you must follow the fluctuations of the doppelganger to kill Based, who is slightly weaker than the 4 ancient gods. Start with him. Yi Rishan came back to his senses and lightly punched the ground. Boom. The ground was violently sunk and dented by a huge force. Countless ground planes gradually cracked and spread like cobwebs. The first crack went straight to the palace. The huge vibration made the palace crumbling. The foundation load-bearing wall of the palace shattered and unstable. The entire palace collapsed. Countless reinforced concrete broke out of the wall into a pile of ruins, setting off a large amount of dust and gray fog. Seeing that his goal had been achieved, Yi Rishan walked towards T'Challa and Buster with the sword of Superman in his right hand. Coming to the front, Furui Wubo's mind looked at the two of them flatly. T'Challa ignored Buster's questioning, saw a huge movement in the direction of the palace, and couldn't help but speak. You destroyed my palace. My sister Su Rui also killed. Yi Rishan, you fool. I killed you to avenge my sister. T'Challa roared loudly at Yi Rishan. Her eyes were red, her face was annoyed, and she rushed angrily. Yi Rishan glanced at T'Challa. The panther battle suit was not worn, so he came to fight me like this. How dare you? Let go of the superhuman sword. The superhuman sword heart comprehends, gallops, and seals the throat with a sword too sharp. The head separated, the sword did not stain blood, and flew back. Yi Rishan stared at Buster and broke the atmosphere. Buster, what dimension is your essence in? Buster was slightly annoyed. Who are you, killing my servant, not to mention, but also asking where my essence is, and knowing my name, human being, who told you my name? I'm Superman Yi Rishan, your servant is just a dog to you, what do you care so much about? Is it hard to know your name? Are you special? Superman Yi Rishan. Phoenix Force holder. Fool things, you hit the dog also to see the owner. What identity do I have? What status do you have? Is this a dog you can kill at will? My name is beyond the utterance of a weak atrium like you, and now kneel and crawl at my feet, offering your foolish life, and I will leave you with all your corpse. Buster, guess if I'm a Phoenix power holder. Not only will I kill your dog, but I will also slaughter you. You have a high status, don't let me trample you under your feet and humiliate you for a while. Let me kneel, how dare you say it? You lowly mortal, you can only take advantage of your tongue, dare to be so disrespectful to the great gods, go to death. Buster gritted his teeth angrily and glared angrily. How can this reptile be so capable of fighting with his mouth, but what to do with him, annoyed into anger. Buster teleported over and gave Yi Rishan a punch. Click. Yi Rishan was too lazy to defend and did not move. Ah! Buster punched Yi Rishan's chest. The pain caused his entire arm and shoulder blades to be misaligned and screamed, and his wrist was bent and broken, revealing Senbai's joint bones exposed to the air. It can be seen how much he hated and killed all his strength on Yi Rishan's body, looking at Yi Rishan with a surprised face. What's going on with your body? Why is it so strong? My blow is enough to blast the atrium, even if the magma in the core collapses, why is it actually intact when it hits you? Fractured my own arm instead. Buster, aren't you very rampant? You have too many questions, lie down you. Yi Rishan let go of the superhuman sword and let it fly by itself, and said with a smile. While Buster didn't react, Yi Rishan lifted the terrified Buster up with both hands, and fell violently to the ground. The ground suddenly dented, Buster only felt that his body was damaged, and his bones were about to fall apart, and he vomited blood. Yi Rishan stepped on Buster's leopard head and kept ravaging with lightning speed. stepping on his leopard face to the ground and rubbing and torturing him. Ah. Bugs, who the hell are you? Dare to humiliate me like this? Buster only felt a powerful force coming from his face, forcing his head to be uncontrollably cheap, and the hot pain on his face and the friction damage on the ground made him extremely angry, and he opened his mouth and cursed. Yi Rishan ignored his words and looked at him mockingly. Aren't you very noble? How does it feel to open a lowly bug, close your mouth to a full thing, and now be trampled under my feet? Quote. Ah. Abominable, abominable, who the hell are you? I can't find a strong person like you in the entire universe, who can actually withstand my full blow. Is it hard to fend off your blow? Dormammu was slaughtered by me, are you better than him? What? You killed Dormammu. You are the creature who shook the entire world tree in a battle with Dormammu, isn't his name Yi? Are you Yi Rishan? I should have remembered it in the first place. Yo, you still know me. Am I already famous for the tree of the world? Even a trash god like you can know about me. Yi Rishan looked at Buster in surprise, but he didn't expect that he was famous, and looked at Buster with disgust. Thanks for watching, please subscribe and support our channel.